beats to the dirty.
Look, we walk in your spot, Bible on me. New mission today, we got a call. But you got God, now we on the way. You touching one, you mess with us all. We brothers and goods, everybody knows how this goes. Now we at your door, listen. Zerah, Mission, St. Louis, Memphis. Had to go back to the Bill Street, how it's time for a revisit. Hey, brothers, this is for the Lord. Brothers, this is for the Lord. Brothers, this is for the Lord.
They ducking the smoke, goose. Look, tell them what's up if they want it. We be the sheep, but we hunting. Ain't talking about money, but keep it 100. Hey, nobody chasing, but demons be running. Hey, you can't put fear in the gods. Touch one, then you touch us all. We pulling up deep with the squad. Script won't clap like round of applause. Like Apple, cause we got the sauce. Yeah, hold on, look. We got the script when you're blocking, applying that pressure, you know how we get it. Teaching the Bible is life and that sin is your death, so I pray that you get it. Them heathens be hating on us like every day, okay bro, we get it. Just showing our people that love, I really just pray that they get it.
Bible on me, new mission today, we got a call. But you got God, now we on the way. You touching one, you mess with us all. We brothers and goods, everybody knows how this goes. Now we at your door, listen. Zerah, Mission, St. Louis, Memphis. Had to go back to the Bill Street, how it's time for a revisit. Hey, brothers, this is for the Lord. Brothers, this is for the Lord. Brothers, this is for the Lord.
I stay with the fruits, I'm healthy. I cut to the chase like deli. I stick to the clues like jelly. I do a dance, Nelly. If I shoot a verse, I hit. Death to your crown, stick. We ate up the beat, Nick. You keep coming back, quick. If I move around like a king, you better bow to the dirt. I'm killing the sin, murk. I gotta rule the earth. I stay with the bricks, work. I'm smart to the bone, clerk. I stay in my bag, burp. I move with the crowd, jerk.
Your spot, Bible on me. New mission today, we got a call. But you got God, now we on the way. You touching one, you mess with us all. We brothers and goods, everybody knows how this goes. Now we at your door, listen. Zerah, Mission, St. Louis, Memphis. Had to go back to the Bill Street, how it's time for a revisit. Hey, brothers, this is for the Lord. Brothers, this is for the Lord. Brothers, this is for the Lord. Your spot, Bible on me. New mission today, we got a call. But you got God, now we on the way. You touching one, you mess with us all. We brothers and goods, everybody knows how this goes. Now we at your door, listen. Zerah, Mission, St. Louis, Memphis. Had to go back to the Bill Street, how it's time for a revisit. Hey, brothers, this is for the Lord. Brothers, this is for the Lord. Brothers, this is for the Lord.
Just beats to the dirty.
Yeah. Aight. No peace, no freedom. Telling Jacob better open up your eyes now. Eyes now, eyes now, open your eyes now. Yeah, better open up your eyes now. Even though we fake the curses, we can't lie down. Yeah, tell them on the rise now. Rise now, we on the rise now. Yeah, here we come, we on the rise now. Rise now, we on the rise now. Tell them that we on the way.
Like a pipe in the oven, cause it's time to rise. Cause when them chariots take off, no one to miss the ride. Turn the righteous music up and swing side to side. Look at my brothers, we got love, we seeing eye to eye. On the mission, we can't stop, we keep going up. We live our life on that thin ice like a hockey puck. We was the kings and the priests, man, the whole world was ours. Now we stuck at the
Tell Jacob better open up your eyes now. Eyes now, open your eyes now. Yeah, better open up your eyes now. Even though we fake the curses, we can't lie now. Yeah, tell them on the rise now. Rise now, we on the rise now. Yeah, here we come, we on the rise now. Rise now, we on the rise now. Tell them that we on the way.
Open up your eyes and take a look at what's to come. We was
down for so long, they thought that we was done. Now we back and we better teach in the name of the Son. Interpret what has been written so that you get the thought. Thought we was lost, but now we been found. Oh yes, it ain't no time to give up, so why you giving up now? We in the midst of the movie, and yeah, it's only the start. Will you teach for the people, or will you just play the part?
Eyes now, open your eyes now. Yeah, yeah, better open up your eyes now. Even though we fake the curses, we can't lie down. Yeah, yeah, tell them on the rise now. Rise now, we on the rise now. Yeah, yeah, here we come, we on the rise now. Rise now, we on the rise now. Telling Jacob better open up your eyes now. Eyes now, open your eyes now. Yeah, yeah, better open up your eyes now. Even though we fake the curses, we can't lie down. Yeah, yeah, tell them on the rise now. Rise now, we on the rise now. Yeah, yeah, here we come, we on the rise now. Rise now, we on the rise now. Tell them that we on the way.
Yeah, this world is so wicked, it got my mind gone. But we been flipping through scriptures, it got my mind blown. And since we back on the mission with our forefathers' traditions, and we been painting the pictures like the time drawn. Yeah, this world is so wicked, it got my mind gone. We been flipping through scriptures, it got my mind blown. And since we back on the mission with our forefathers' traditions, and we been painting the pictures like the time drawn. I done been tried in that fire and made it out.
Shalom. All praise to the Most High. Welcome to another week of
Check. Shalom. Let's talk
Truth.
Hey, all praise
What
to the
am
Most
I,
High.
man? What the hell?
Hey, look, the mics are jacked, y'all. Y'all bear with us. Hey, want to introduce myself. I'm Officer Baruch.
Officer Joa.
Officer Jeremiah. Officer Zachariah.
Officer Ezra.
Officer Jonah.
Officer Isaiah.
And all praise to the Most High. So we got a hell of a show today. All right, it's called the R. Kelly Trial.
Hey!
So this is
Lordy.
you know, we've been knowing about, you know, allegations and things of that nature dealing with. Well, first of all, who is R. Kelly? R. Kelly was an extremely talented, you know, gifted, creative,
Right.
R&B singer, producer. Been around for decades. Got a very long catalog. You know what I'm saying? A real good hit list. He got a plethora of different type of songs. He known for, you know, a sexual stigma or whatever, but he got songs like I Wish. He got songs like I Believe I Can Fly.
The world's greatest.
The world's greatest, right?
Yeah.
Motor Step in the Name of Love.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. Trapped in the closet.
No, not
Come on, man.
Even with Christian, a little bit.
right, exactly. They gon' well, I don't think we're gonna show it, but they talked about that in the interview. He got like a little, you know, Christian gospel influence within his music. So, you know, with that being said, you know, it's been allegations and all that and rumors for decades dealing with this man. A lot of our people, due to our love for his music, his influence, his, you know, he was like an icon.
Right.
So due to that, you know, a lot of people overlooked it, and he beat the case, so whatever, and da.
Come on now, dog.
Until recently in 2019, you had this documentary come out called Surviving R. Kelly, or a docuseries. And after that, he was charged, which led to this trial.
I didn't do this stuff.
In which he was found guilty of. Now, hey, he was found guilty in a court of law.
Right.
All right, they got pieces of evidence, witnesses, all of that. So it is what it is. We not incriminating this man. We not saying he did what or didn't do what or whatever. We just gonna go through this trial.
Right.
We gonna talk. Well, we gonna pull disclaimer scriptures and all that. But you know, we gonna talk truth about this trial. A lot of us, you know, got our opinions and stuff in the world where if they did this and if she did this and why she didn't do this and why he didn't do this and all of that, we gonna give you the biblical perspective, all right? So we gonna talk truth today about this trial. So make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. It's a hot topic. And ain't nobody gonna talk about the topic like we gonna talk about the topic.
That's right.
All right? So tune in, share, like, comment, and most importantly, call in. We want y'all to call in today. All right?
Yes, sir.
833-878-7234, extension 7. All right? 833-878-7234, extension 7. So the Real Underground Radio, holla at us, man. We know y'all got something to say.
They got something to say.
For real.
Yes, sir.
Cause y'all, you know, y'all, since y'all the Real Underground, y'all might know. Yeah,
Come on, man.
I don't know. All right, but yeah, let's real quick get Psalms 116 and verse 11. Who reading?
Officer Zachariah.
Yeah, get Psalms 116 and verse 11. Like I said, you know, disclaimer. We ain't saying who did what, who didn't do it, or whatever. We just gonna examine some things. All right.
Like a duck.
I didn't do this stuff.
Read what you can.
The book of Psalms, chapter 116 and verse 11. I said in my haste, all men are liars.
So that's what the Bible say. The Bible say all men are liars. So you don't know who really telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
How stupid would I be to do
You know
that?
what I'm saying?
Right.
All men are liars. That's what the word of God say. So, you know, the simple believe every word. We not simple up here. All right? From there, get Sirach 19, verse 15. Sirach 19, verse 15.
Hate me if you want to, love me if you want.
The book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 15.
Come on.
Admonish a friend, for many times it is a slander.
God said a lot of times our people tend to slander. Can we pull up that definition real quick? A lot of times our people want to slander, especially if you had something going with somebody and it didn't go your way. It didn't go how you intended it to go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It would turn to slander. All right? Read that.
The definition of slander: the action or crime of making a false spoken statement damaging to a person's reputation.
So God said a lot of times it be slander. So we not going to be ignorant to that. All right? Finish that scripture.
And believe not every tale.
God said don't believe every damn thing. Now, some people just running with every damn thing that was said in trial, whether it was evidence or not.
Come on, man.
Now, if somebody is proven guilty and they admitted to doing certain stuff and of course you can't put nothing past them.
That's right.
But God said, believe not every tale. All right? Habakkuk 1 verse 4. Habakkuk chapter 1 verse 4. We're not ignorant of this either.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 1 and verse 4. Therefore, the law is slack, and judgment doth never go forth.
Read.
For the wicked doth compass about the righteous. Therefore, wrong judgment proceedeth.
Right, so God said in this land, there's going to be a lot of wrong judgment that proceed. Now, this works both ways. A lot of people get wrongfully convicted and get charged with stuff, and they was actually innocent.
Right.
They didn't do what people claim that they did. On the flip side, a lot of people get off for stuff. You know, a lot of people get acquitted for charges they know damn well they did. Didn't O.J. Simpson write a book like How I got away with it or something like that. Am I tripping?
Damn.
All y'all up here, y'all know
Look
what
it
I'm talking about.
up. You gotta look it up.
What was the name of the book?
I think it was that.
Yeah, how did I get away
Let's
with
fact
it?
check that.
There was
thing.
something like how I would have did it if I something like that, but it was how I got away with it was in the title.
Right. So, that happens on both ends. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, hey, we not saying what we just gonna examine. All right, Ecclesiastes 8, verse 11. Ecclesiastes 8, verse 11.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence.
Because what?
Because sentence.
See, that word hit a little different. Now we talking about an actual trial.
Right.
Because sentence is what?
Against an evil work is not executed speedily.
Right, because, the stuff started in 92 as far as, allegations and stuff, people knowing about stuff that he was doing. That started in 1992. You know what I'm saying? He had a big case, happened in 2002. I think he beat it in 2004. And they had a video. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So a lot of people, they're like, he didn't get sentenced. I mean, obviously, God looking out for him. They just trying to slander and ruin his reputation or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And in his mind, it's actually a quote. I think it's in one of these articles. But he said, his brother was like, God gave you another chance. And he was like, God didn't give me another chance. I gave me another chance. My money gave me another chance.
Damn.
Wow.
That's what R. Kelly said. So in his mind, knowing that he got off, he didn't get sentenced for what he did when he did it. Read.
Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
So you gotta imagine, you would think like when people get off, for certain stuff like murder, drugs, stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. It really shows, the truth altogether because, a person that got off of something, you would think like, I ain't dibbling-dabbling with that no more. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But God is showing us with evil people, wicked-ass people, when they escape a sentence of judgment, they feel like now they invincible and they become even bolder in their sin. Now their heart is fully set to do evil.
This is not about music.
Now read on.
Though a sinner do evil 100 times.
Though a sinner do evil 100 times. Now, like I said, these is all allegations and stuff like that, but he was proven guilty.
I didn't do this stuff.
So a sinner can do evil 100 times. A man can molest, rape,
Right.
all that, do child pornography 100 times.
You killing me, man.
You know? Come on.
And his days be prolonged.
Right, and he's still the piper of R&B.
Is this camera
You know,
on
he
me?
can still be, an R&B legend, dropping albums and videos.
How stupid
can
would I
happen.
be to do that?
They can do evil 100 times, and people will know about it. And God said their life will be prolonged. They'll still be out here. Read.
Yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God.
But at the end of the day, we know it's going to be well with them that fear God. Read.
Which fear before him.
Uh-huh.
But it shall not be well with the wicked.
And that's what this right here show us. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think of victims and people that have been speaking out and been trying to get them in trouble and all that for years. And in their mind, they're like, wow, this dude really been able to buy himself off and still out here living good and got fame and able to do concerts.
Come on now, dog.
Like, wow, that could be discouraging for some people. But at the end of the day, we know it's not going to be well with the wicked.
That's right.
It took all them years, but now this brother will spend the rest of his life in federal prison.
Around big
It
broad
is.
shoulder brothers and stuff.
Come on
Right.
Be performing there.
So now, like I'm saying, I'm not saying that he did everything they said he did, but understand R. Kelly is wicked. Regardless of the damn You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Dog, Kelly
Even if he
wicked as
didn't do
hell. The
Even if he
information,
didn't do it,
exactly.
he's still wicked.
Exactly. Because the stuff that we know he did and he said he did and it's proof that he did,
Right.
that man wicked. It is what it is, and it wasn't going to be well with him anyway.
And maybe that's a
All right?
question you
That's
should
what
ask
God
China.
said. It shall not be well with the wicked. Let's go.
Neither shall he prolong his days,
Uh-huh.
which are as a shadow,
Read.
because he feareth not before God.
Because he don't fear God. One more, 2 Ezra 16. 2 Ezra 16, verse 62.
Hey, also, you know what this show? And this happens with every celebrity, whether it's entertainers, actors, athletes. Every time that hush money runs out, that's when stuff get ugly. We see this over and over. The hush money can only last so long. Here you are 30 years later, and you out of it. Now you in trouble.
Right.
Nah, this is the thing too. God is a just judge. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to understand something too. People that recipients of hush money and, you know, people that start speaking out once they bills stop getting paid or whatever the hell caused them to wait all these damn years. You know what I'm saying? With certain people, you got to understand that they're going to get judged as well. They
Right.
going against scripture as well. You know what I'm saying? So understand that. Message. All right? 2 Ezra 16, verse 62.
The book of
So, and that's something that we got to make sure, real quick, get Leviticus 5 and 1. Because in the black community, you already know we got this stigma about snitching, right? Don't snitch or whatever. And, you know, that is been very toxic in many different ways in our community.
Sneaky links.
But we got to make sure that, like the scripture talks about when a woman is forced against her will, she's supposed to cry out. You know what I'm saying? And our young daughters, well, really when we put our kids in subjection to the music world, the wicked music world, they subject to idolatry because these people can become their idols and they can do no wrong in their sight. So they'll have fantasies and dreams. I know when you got to think, bro, we was 10, 11, 12, 13, we used to be like, man, if I could just get in the room with Halle Berry. We little ass boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if Halle Berry did something to us when we was little boys,
We'd have liked it.
you think we gonna...
We'd have liked it.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we got to instill God laws in our children. They got to know what's wrong is what's wrong.
That's
And
right.
you gotta say something. All right? So people like this won't prolong their damn days and be out here and create more and more victims.
Come on now,
All right?
dawg.
Read what you got.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 5 and verse 1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness, whether he have seen or known of it,
And is a witness whether he has seen or known of it. Come on.
if he do not utter it,
Uh-huh.
then he shall bear his iniquity.
So if you don't utter it, you gonna bear that iniquity. So all the stuff he did, you're an accomplice, God says.
Right.
All right? So now go to 2 Ezra 16, verse 62.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 16, verse 62.
Come on.
Yea, and the Spirit of Almighty God, which made all things, and searcheth out all hidden things and the secrets of the earth.
Right. God said he searches out the hidden things and the secrets of the earth. So it don't matter how many damn dungeons you got.
Hell no.
How many people you got hired to block and guard off your little,
I didn't do this.
you know what I'm saying? Your damn chocolate factory.
Right. Your closets.
The Lord said he searched out the hidden things of the earth. All right? The Lord bring out the secrets. Read on.
Surely he knoweth your inventions and what you think in your hearts, even them that sin
And
and
what?
would hide their sin.
And would hide they sin.
Is this camera on me?
The Lord said, I see you with your nasty ass. For real. The Lord sees all things. Read.
right.
Therefore, have the Lord exactly searched out all your works,
Watch this.
and will put you all to shame.
God said he gonna put Negroes that think they can hide something, hide sin. God said he gonna put them all to shame. I'm talking about shame. Shame. The Lord gonna put you to shame.
Hate me if you
Read
want to,
on.
love me if you want.
Watch this.
And when your sins are brought forth, ye shall be ashamed before men.
You see that God said, now this how you know it ain't just talking about when you die. He said, when your sins brought forth, you shall be ashamed before men. He will broadcast your shame and your guilt in front of all the earth. For real. You think you hiding, you think you hid it, you done put this money here, you done did this and did that, you think you covered. Lord said, I'm gonna put your ass to shame in front of everybody. All right? Read on.
And your own sins shall be your accusers in that day.
You see that? Your own sins shall be your accusers in that day. Now this brother had sins and accusers in that day, in those weeks. All right? But I'll praise to the Most High. Like I said, hey, I'm just saying, the Lord say what he say. It could be R. Kelly. It could be P. Diddy. It could be Oprah. It
Right.
could be Joe Biden. It
Right.
could be Bill Clinton. It
Right.
could be, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Anybody. Remember the white man last year that killed himself?
Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein. Right? Yeah. He went all them years, all that money, all doing this and this and that. He went a long time just living life and doing plenty of wickedness.
The hell is
And eventually the Lord brought him to shame.
That's right.
For real. It'll catch up. We just putting it out there in general. You know, it could be that wrong judgment proceeded. You know what I'm saying? But probably not.
Nah.
Most likely he fell into the scriptures that we just read, how the Lord operate. You know, he'll bring you stuff. He'll expose you.
Hey, officer.
All right? What's up?
Kind of getting at what you're saying. Even though we know the scriptures say, well, we know it's never safe to assume, right? We can't, just put something on them. But the scriptures tell us you know a man by his look, his gait, his excessive laughter. So basically how he conduct himself. If you don't see nothing wrong with bumping and grinding and age ain't nothing but a number, you might got some little stuff about you.
If it really ain't.
All you gotta do is be 18. We gonna
But there is something that
Don't go way back, bro.
Hey.
Don't go too back.
Hey.
He about to sing the whole damn song, bro.
he said his body telling him yes.
Right, but just in case you've been living under a rock, we gonna bring you up to speed, and then we gonna go into the history.
That's right.
So, let's get the trial summary. Yeah, bring it up. The first link.
R. Kelly found guilty of racketeering and sex trafficking. After more than 25 years of accusations in a federal court trial in New York that lasted 7 weeks, R&B singer R. Kelly has been found guilty of charges including sexual exploitation of a child, bribery, racketeering, and sex trafficking involving 5 victims. Kelly faces a possible sentence of 10 years to life in prison.
Come on, man.
Kelly sat absolutely still as the foreperson gave the jury's verdict to Judge Ann Donnelly. 14 alleged underlying acts were associated with the racketeering charge. The jury found that the government had proved 12 of those acts, which involved 5 victims, the singer Aaliyah, as well as women named Stephanie, Jerhonda Pace, Jane, and Faith. 2 acts associated with an alleged victim named Sonia were not proved. Most alleged victims went by went by their first names or pseudonyms. The government needed proof of only 2 of the racketeering acts for a guilty charge. Federal prosecutors in the Eastern District of New York successfully proved to a jury of 7 men and 5 women that Kelly had been the head of a criminal enterprise whose purpose was to lure girls, boys, and women to the R&B singer for his sexual gratification. On top of awaiting sentencing in the New York case, Kelly will face a second federal trial on charges of child pornography and obstruction of justice in Illinois. Some of those accusations are related to a 2008 child pornography trial in Chicago in which he was acquitted of all charges. Additionally, Kelly faces outstanding criminal charges in both Cook County, Illinois, where he was indicted by the state attorney in February of 2019 for aggravated criminal sexual abuse involving 4 victims, 3 of them minors, and in Minnesota, where Kelly was charged in August 2019 with engaging in prostitution with a minor. Sentencing in New York is scheduled for May 4th. This man all over the North.
All right, was that it?
That's it, y'all?
All right, so that's the trial in a nutshell. A lot of charges, a lot of witnesses, a lot of testimonies, and so forth. He was pronounced guilty, but he ain't been sentenced yet.
I didn't do this stuff.
So let's get into it. Matter of fact, now get the next thing. This is from the trial. Just want to show y'all an example from one of the testimonies. You know what I'm saying? That was given now. I don't think this brother had proof, but
Check.
you know, these are some outstanding allegations. If you a judge, you know it's certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, certain stuff you hear, you like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But certain stuff you hear,
Like, whoa.
outstanding allegations. You gotta,
Right. All underage. Hell.
yeah, you gotta inquire. You gotta, consider.
Right.
All right, so this is definitely one for consideration. All right, let's
titled-
read about this one. Come on.
Titled, First Male Accuser Testifies Against R. Kelly in Singer's Sex Trafficking Trial. The witness told a jury Kelly lured him to his Chicago area home in 2007 with false offers of helping him with his fledgling music career.
Come on now, dog.
Hey, nah, go ahead. I'm just going to read it. Go ahead and
Read it.
Scroll down. Come on.
After several days of testimony from women claiming they were groomed and sexually abused by R. Kelly, a man took the witness stand at Kelly's sex trafficking. Right.
Amen. After
Amen.
several days of testimony from women,
Right.
a man
Right.
came forth. Yes. Amen.
Nigga, you gay.
A male took witness stand at Kelly's sex trafficking trial in New York City on Monday to say the R&B star exploited him in the same way when he was a high school student. The witness, testifying in federal court in Brooklyn without using his real name, told a jury how Kelly lured him to his Chicago area home in 2007 with false offers of helping him with his fledgling music career.
Cap.
Kelly asked the alleged victim, then 17, what I was willing to do for music, the witness said. He replied, I'll carry your bags. Anything you need, I'll be willing to do. That's not it. That's not it, he said, Kelly responded. Scroll up, y'all. Before asking him if he ever fantasized about having sex with men. He described how Kelly then crawled down on his knees and proceeded to give him oral sex, even though I wasn't into it. Those are quotation marks around that.
Hey.
I wasn't into it.
Come on now, dog.
I really wasn't into it.
Now look, it wasn't that long ago when I was 17, right?
Right.
When I was 17, I was about 5'9". You know what I'm saying?
Got
About
them-
135.
Got them hands. You know.
I mean, no, I'm just saying. I was a kid, 5'9", about 135,
Right.
But you do got boxers that age, that height and weight You know what I'm saying? And they showcase their ability.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm 17, I'm able to drive. You know, I go to work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I know damn well I'll be able to swing. So if a man, you know what I'm saying, calls himself proceeding to do any type of sexual act towards me, I ain't going down without a damn fight.
Right.
It ain't no.
He said
I'm not into this. What?
What are you doing?
No.
All right, go ahead.
He said what I was willing to do for music. So when that happened, he was like, all right, 5, 4,
Satan put him
3,
to the
2,
test.
1. Yeah, what you
Yeah.
gonna do? You got 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
Hey.
He
Come
gonna
on
be.
now,
He
dog.
like, I
Now, the
love.
scripture said covet just
Women.
I'm just
yeah.
finna get there. I wanted to finish it out though. Go ahead.
Afterward, he told me to keep between him and me, he said. In a later episode, Kelly snapped his fingers to summon a naked girl from where she was hiding under a boxing ring to give Kelly and the witness oral sex. The man told the jury.
And they was boxing rings. So come on now.
man.
You should have been in the atmosphere.
boxing.
With the swing. But nah, go ahead. Keep reading.
Hey, officer, just in case some people don't know, because people may be wondering, why would he come to the witness stand and do this? Where is he coming from? Why did he wait till the last day? Just in case somebody that's not keeping up with the trial, he was forced in a cooperation agreement by the government to tell what happened between him and R. Kelly. If not, he would have been charged for knowing stuff that R. Kelly did to another girl. So he was forced to come forth and tell exactly what he experienced.
All right.
He kept seeing Kelly after that because, in quotations, I really wanted to make it in the music industry, he said.
Come on now, dog.
The witness was testifying as part of a cooperation agreement stemming from his guilty plea in a separate case alleging he was part of a botched scheme to bribe a woman to not testify against Kelly. No charges were brought against Kelly related to the scheme. Kelly, 54, was charged in July 2019 with racketeering based on sexual exploitation of children, kidnapping, forced labor, and Mann Act violations. Charges involving the coercion of transportation of women and girls in interstate commerce to engage in illegal sexual activity, according to the Department of Justice news release.
All right, gets right 10 and 9. So now this is why we gotta talk truth about like stuff like this, trials and things of that nature, dealing with our people, because you see wickedness in all forms, in all angles and directions with our people that's involved. You know what I'm saying, in this wickedness. What's going on? All right, read what you got.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10 and verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man.
God said it's nothing worse. It's nothing more wicked than a covetous man. To be covetous means that you desire things that you don't have.
Right.
You know, a strong desire. Right? God said it's nothing worse than somebody that's covetous. Read.
For such an one setteth his own soul to
Because a
sell.
man like that will sell his soul to get what he desire. He'll sell his soul to get the fame, the notoriety, the money, the cars, the houses, and etc. He'll sell his soul for it. Read.
Because while he liveth,
Because this the type of stuff he do while he live. He'll do what?
he casteth away his bowels.
Y'all know what that mean, right? Y'all know what that mean, right?
He dropping him down.
He gonna toot it and boot it.
He will give his manhood
Selling ass.
for some damn, for some fame, for some money. Yes.
Trying to make it in
Shelling
music.
eyes.
Shalinar.
You lose.
All right. So,
Good day, sir.
so all praise to the Most High. So, like I said now, that's, an example of a testimony from the trial. And there was over 50 of them, right? something like that. So, you know, he was found guilty. So it is what it is. So we just gonna get into some history dealing with the so-called Pied Piper. All right, and we gonna deal with that as well. Let's get that next video. Make sure y'all call in, man. Hey.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. All right.
The title.
Make sure we, you know, stick to the timestamps.
R. Kelly speaks out. R. Kelly.
Just play the video.
In 1990, but there was a problem. Kelly was 27 and Aaliyah was 15. Their marriage certificate falsely shows her age as 18.
You loved her? Yeah. Are you uncomfortable talking about her?
Not really uncomfortable, but just very respectful.
That part of the story is of interest because first indication that Robert Kelly might be interested in very young women.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
well,
that's
it
of
depends on
interest.
who's interested in that story.
Of course, a lot of people were interested in that story,
Pause.
especially when word broke.
Pause. So, now, I don't know if y'all heard it, but basically, yeah, I'm going to point that out. Yeah. But anyway, so basically, what was said by the reporter, he was like, you know, do you love Aaliyah? He's like, yeah, I love Aaliyah. And, you know, basically it came out, this stuff was true. She was 15, they falsified her age or whatever. Mm-hmm. And concerning the charges he was facing at the time about the sex tape with the 14-year-old, you know, they're like, wouldn't you think they would take that into account? You know, that you actually did marry Aaliyah when she was 15. And, you know, you don't think people would find interest in, you know, digging more into that? And he was like, it depends on who's interested in that case. And Esau was like, well, it turns out, yeah, a lot of people's interested in it.
You dumb.
But now put that on the screen. So it's a lot of, like I said, it was always a lot of telltale signs now. But our people overlooked it because they were jamming to his music. All right? Now, one of her breakout songs, her big hits, was Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Now, mind you, the girl was 15. The brother was 27.
Nasty.
They got interviews and stuff together. It already looked suspect. It's like, he's my best friend in the whole world.
Yeah.
Like,
the album cover alone.
and
Sure.
then, right, and look at the album cover. Look at him in the background. And the title is Age Ain't Nothing But a Number.
He creeping over there.
Dude, creepy as hell.
Age is a number that
Facts.
matters.
Facts.
That's right.
And we gonna prove that. I think I want to see a little bit more on this clip, though. Play that.
That the two had secretly married.
You tried to hide that at some point, that you didn't get married, but you
No.
did, right?
I vowed that I would not even discuss any of the past, any negative things about Aaliyah. So my memories of Aaliyah.
But
is
that's not a
very
negative
talented
thing,
girl.
though, that you loved her, is it?
Oh, I already said I loved her.
In 2001, Aaliyah was killed in a plane crash. Her funeral procession included a horse-drawn carriage and a white coffin. Even though Aaliyah and Kelly's marriage had been annulled years earlier by her parents, her death rekindled questions about Kelly's possible relationships with teenage girls.
Do you think that it is immoral for an older man to have sex with an underage girl?
Rephrase the question.
For an
Wow.
older man
What?
to have sex
Come on now,
with an
dog.
underage girl, someone under 17. Do you view that as an immoral thing, if they're in love?
If they're in love, I really can't be the judge of that.
Wow. Right. No. Hey. So we gonna get that, but now all praise to the Most High God. It say God give us wisdom to judge our
That's
people.
right.
Because that's how people go to. I can't be the judge of that. Who's to say 16, 17? Some people develop faster than others. No. But you gotta act, he asked him, you think it's sexually immoral for somebody, a man, to deal with a woman 17 years of age or younger? All right, so let's see. Get Genesis 37. Genesis 37 and verse 2. Let's see.
The book of Genesis, chapter 37 and verse 2.
Come on.
These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph being 17 years old.
How old was Joseph?
17 years old.
So Joseph was 17. Now, like I said, when I was 17, I had a job, I had a car. You know what I'm saying? I was, the height and weight of, equal to grown men, right? But I was 17 years of age. It was a number, but it means something. Jump down to verse 29.
Verse 29.
Come on.
And Reuben returned unto the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit, and he rent his clothes. And he returned unto his brethren, and said, the child.
The what?
The child.
The what?
The child is not.
So Joseph, he disappeared. He wasn't in the pit no more because they came in, the Ishmaelites came and got him, right? So he said, Joseph, the child, is not here anymore. How old was Joseph?
17.
17. So that means at 17, you're still a what?
Child.
A damn child.
You a baby.
Now ask yourself, you may have children, right? Is it sexually immoral for a man to have sex with a child?
Hell.
Yes, sir.
Give Matthew 5:37. So y'all saw his response.
He can't be the judge.
You rephrased it.
Right. If they're in love.
This what God said. And this is important dealing with judgment. This how you know, man, somebody, wicked as hell.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 37.
Come on.
But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay.
God said, let your communication be yea or nay. Brother, yes or no? Is it sexually immoral to deal with a 17-year-old? Yes or no?
Well, I'll get back with you on that.
So if that's your response, this what God said. Read.
For whatsoever is more than these,
If it's anything outside of yes and no, read.
cometh of evil.
Right, it cometh of evil. Cometh of evil. It's showing that the brother wasn't right. The brother, I'm telling you, that was a wicked ass brother for marrying. Now, I don't think it's gonna be in the clips we're gonna show later, but it might be. But basically, the reason why he got married to Aaliyah was to cover up a pregnancy.
Right.
Because if it would have came out that, he got a 15-year-old pregnant, he would have been charged. You know what I'm saying? He would have got put in jail. So he had to forge marital papers or whatever in an effort to, get out of that charge. So that's what that was about. All right?
Hey, I want to say this.
Go to
officer.
the next time.
That's
Go
why
ahead.
the spiritual got to judge, because or the righteous. I used to have a coworker, and he might be on the underground right now listening, but he would justify that R. Kelly was right. He didn't do this. It was consensual.
Come on, man.
This is his mindset. Hey, he got that same spirit. He probably would have went off and done the same thing. Dangerous. Let's play.
I was in a cab on the way over here, and the cab driver, I said, I'm doing an interview with R. Kelly. And he said, oh, I've seen him on television. I like that music. Pause. And then he said, something about child pornography with that guy.
I gotta look at that like I look at everything else. When people say things about you, when people down you, which I've been down for my lyrics in this business.
Tickling and teasing, doing that little dance. Girl, you gon' make me lay you down and give it to you one more again.
Sexual movements on stage.
Sure.
I've been down for a lot of stuff. And when you become famous, unfortunately, life becomes a stage. And so you have to be this perfect person, which I'm not.
Damn. I think I jumped. We ain't finished the last time stamp, did we? Go back. They be doing that. They be doing that. It's all good.
Come on now, dog.
Finish that time stamp so we can know the context of where we at right now in the video. All right.
If they're in love, I really can't be the judge of that.
This is the girl of my fantasy.
But judging R. Kelly became a pastime in Chicago as rumors of his fascination with underage girls continued to spread.
When this controversy started, people who'd been following R. Kelly's career weren't saying, I never would have expected R. Kelly. I mean, there was some notion that this wasn't a complete surprise. And again, some people chose to believe it, some people chose to ignore it.
But the rumors could no longer be ignored after this videotape surfaced. The videotape allegedly shows Kelly having sex with a 14-year-old girl and is considered to be the centerpiece in a criminal case in which Kelly is charged with 14 counts of child pornography.
Last count I had, I think, was maybe 6 or 7 lawsuits filed by various women against you.
When there's blood in the water, here comes the shocks.
Anyway, so I'll get a breakdown. But basically,
go ahead.
Basically, as you can see, the reason why the Aaliyah stuff was mentioned in regards to the tape. Now, I was a little boy, I was young, but I had ears. It was a hot topic. My mama, auntie, cousin, all them, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was talking about this tape. So, we had a computer. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we wise to do evil. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I checked it out when I was a little kid. But, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, millions of people that seen this tape. And majority of the people that I didn't hear talk about it said, yes, that was his ass. It is what it is. But that's the topic of discussion at the time. Would you finna say something?
No, I was finna say, it's crazy, like, with that, because I seen the video back when I was a kid, too. We said that was him, and then all the adults was like, but that's R. Kelly. That's R. Kelly. R. Kelly, he the Pied Piper. What? Yeah, I seen that.
Now, look, in the video, it's one thing to say, that's R. Kelly. But the girl getting pissed on.
Drip, drip, drip.
What? Now, I ain't gonna, look, that's one of them things where even if you marry, that don't fall under the bed, under fire. That's some nasty. You can't do that.
Our brothers
You can't piss on nobody.
Somebody trying to get her pimples off her face.
Bad under fire. Lemonade shower.
No, cut it.
All right, now go back to the other time step now, bro.
Giving golden shower.
Right, yeah, it was just tea.
I was in a cab on the way over here, and the cab driver, I said, I'm doing an interview with R. Kelly. And he said, oh, I've seen him on television. I like that music. Pause. And then he said, something about child pornography with that guy.
I gotta look at that like I look at everything else. When people say things about you, when people down you, which I've been down for my lyrics in this business.
Tickling and teasing, doing that little dance. Girl, you gonna make me lay you down and give it to you one more again.
And sexual movements on stage.
Sure.
I've been down for a lot of stuff. And when you become famous, unfortunately, life becomes a stage. And so you have to be this perfect person, which I can't do it.
Of course, the issues shadowing Mr. Kelly are not about perfection, but criminality. In February of 2002, a reporter from the Chicago Sun-Times received an anonymous phone call directing him to go to his mailbox. In it was a 27-minute videotape allegedly showing Kelly having sex with a 14-year-old girl, though the actual identities of the man and girl on the tape are still a matter of dispute. The state of Illinois was confident enough in this piece of evidence to charge Kelly in the spring of 2002 with child pornography.
The Honorable County Judge Carla Foreman, right presiding, be seated. Court is now called to order.
At the time of the indictment, Kelly was at his second home in Davenport, Florida, near Orlando. where he was arrested, spent a night in a Florida jail, and was then returned to Illinois. Arriving back in Chicago, Kelly went straight to the Cook County Criminal Court to turn himself in.
I need to advise him of his rights.
But even before he got to the front door, he was abruptly pulled aside, arrested again, and read his rights.
You understand that anything you say can and may be used against you?
He knows that I'm his lawyer. He's not going to make any statements.
You understand that you have the right to talk to an attorney before we ask you any questions. You understand that?
Within hours, the three-time Grammy Award winner had 21 counts of child pornography charges on his resume. He pled not guilty to all of them.
I'm just looking forward to my day in court.
Significantly, he could not be charged with statutory rape because the young girl the police believe is in the video has repeatedly denied that it's her. What's more, although the state of Florida also filed child pornography charges against Kelly, those charges have all been dismissed, and the Illinois charges have since been narrowed to 14 counts. Still, a conviction on any one count could put R. Kelly in prison for at least 6 years. If he's convicted on all counts, the maximum would be 51 years. In addition, there's been a handful of civil lawsuits by women against Kelly.
You've settled some of these lawsuits out of court, right?
Can't talk about it.
Even the ones that are not in trial
I
anymore,
can't
not
talk
in
about
litigation?
anything pertaining to me and lawsuits and things like that.
Let me ask you a question just more broadly then. Last count I had, I think, was maybe 6 or 7 lawsuits filed by various women against you. A shred of truth in any of them, as far as you're concerned? Any of the allegations?
The only thing I can say about that is the shocks. When there's blood in the water, here comes the shocks.
What?
Right. So yeah, I was supposed to get a breakdown last time. You said it twice.
You said the break.
So what he's saying is, basically, when people see an opportunity for a come up, that's what they do. That's what they pursue. Right? So yeah, when there's blood in the water, the sharks flock to where the blood is. They trying to eat. So that's what he was going into. Now, real quick, now play this video first. So the last clip was going into kind of like his image, his lyrics. Girl, you something right now, and you know all of that. So what's interesting about what he calls himself, what he, he's the self-proclaimed Pied Piper, right? So these is one of the things you got to take into account and examine. What does this mean? What is this? Excuse me. What is this about? All right. So let's see. Play that.
Teenage girls. When you say teenage, how old are we talking? Girls who are teenagers.
For someone to come home with me, all you have to do is be
What up, Jane and Jodos? Welcome back to my channel.
Wow.
You ain't never seen that?
Wow. Are you?
Yo, I've never seen that before.
No, I've never seen that.
We gotta run it back then. You gotta look at his excitement. That's that excessive gait.
Wait
a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He was excited. Now, when you see the full clip, he basically recruiting, who I'm gonna take home with me. He doing this and doing that. And he letting you know his preference. You know what I'm saying? The younger, the better. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is be, play it again. Play it again.
For someone to come home with me, all you have to do is be
What up, Jane and
Hey,
Jodos?
you know what's crazy? He decided, this man decided, if they don't, just in case they don't understand my lyrics, just in case they can't hear what I'm saying, he put a sign up, a big yellow sign with an 18 on it.
Come on,
to
man.
make sure they
I
know
don't
you just gotta
see
be
nothing
18.
wrong. You might still be in high school.
Right, just be 18 though.
But when you get out of class,
Just say you 18.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little. All right, get Matthew 12:34. Matthew chapter 12, verse 34.
Damn. Bring it out.
The Pied Piper. This is what God said. Read what you got.
The book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 34. O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things?
Come on.
For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
God said, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. You know what I'm saying? You're going to rap or sing about what's in your heart, what's in your mind. That's what's going to come out of your mouth. He expressing, you know what I'm saying, that he has an interest in young women.
Right.
They're showing the type of mind that he got. His mind is immoral. All right? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's why he said what he said. All right? Go back to the video.
My channel, it's your girl, the plain Shay. Now listen, while you're subscribing and you're hitting thumbs up on this video, keep in mind, this is episode number 2 of Tag Q here on my channel. And you might be wondering, what the fuck is Tag Q? And it stands for, that's a good question. And basically, I'm sitting here and I'm answering questions that people might really sit and ponder about. And I'm wondering, I know we all know that R. Kelly is a molester and a pedophile and all that other good shit, but I'm wondering if y'all know who the Pied Piper really is. In other words, where did his name come from?
On your wrist, plain Jane.
So I did my research on this situation, and I'm wondering why none of our parents put us hip or put us D with who R. Kelly really was or where his name really derived from. So I'll take you back to a really old fairy tale, and it's called the Pied Piper. And basically there was this guy, a village was having a pest issue. They had mice and rodents and different types of things, and they called on the Pied Piper in order to lure all of the rats or all of the mice out of the city, and it worked. For whatever reason, whatever he was playing on that flute really directed all of those mice to follow him into a shadowy forest, and they didn't have any more pest problems. The problem is, when it came time to pay this man, the village decided they didn't want to pay him.
Said the piper, and he smiled a quiet smile. He put his pipe to his lips again. But now there was no loud notes, as the tune was joyous and light, full of happy laughter and merry play. And as he walked down the streets, the people of the town laughed at him. But from classrooms and playrooms and nurseries all over town, every child ran out into the streets with smiles on their faces at the piper's call. Dancing and laughing, the bright throng moved along up Gold Street and down Silver Street, and beyond Silver Street into the big green forest full of old trees and bushes.
Chocolate factory.
Deeper and deeper the stranger went into the forest. And the children followed, until finally they were all gone. All the while, the people of the town watched and waited. Then they laughed no more. And watch and wait as they might, they never did see the piper in his multicolored coat, or the children of the town ever again, who all disappeared into the forest forever. The end.
Now you tell me if you see any similarities with these stories and these scenarios right here, because to me what's really evident between this fairy tale and R. Kelly is music, missing children, and deceit. You know, lying or feeding children some type of a story to lure them away from their parents or from whatever cared ones it was that they were born into this world with. Young children at that. Let us not...
So, I guess I missed it, but the full story of the Pied Piper is, you know, he was hired to send away rodents or whatever out of the city.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? His music make rodents and stuff scatter away. So when it was time for him to get paid, the mayor decided he wasn't gonna pay him. So he played his music. Since they didn't pay him, he played his music and took all the kids, because you know the kids flocked to it, and he took the kids into the forest and disappeared, and the people never saw their kids again. And that's what he called himself. The Pied Piper.
Come on, man.
That our people,
Think about it.
Our people, we don't research. You know what I'm saying? I also been and I talk about that all the time. Like, we got to start doing research. You know what I'm saying? Because all it took was for you to look that up, and you would have knew to hide your damn kids.
Hide your kids.
You know what I'm saying? For real. He's saying through his music, through his alluring abilities, he would take your child somewhere outside of your supervision. You don't know what the hell he doing with him. All right? So let's get the next clip now. Now, this is the alleged, well, basically, the girl that was in the sex tape, allegedly, this is her aunt. This woman was once signed to R. Kelly. All right? If, you know, our mamas and daddies and stuff up here, they probably know who this woman is. All right? She was popular back in the day. All right? So she is speaking out about, you know, when she found out about the tape or whatever, and she made some interesting statements. All right? So play that. Now, mind you, now notice, she said she saw the tape, you know what I'm saying? She immediately alerting her family members or whatever.
Right.
And initially they were stirred up. And then eventually, you know, they weren't trying to do nothing. So she came to the conclusion, Robert done got to him. So we gotta think, what does this mean? All right, get numbers 35. Numbers 35, 31. So this is a law concerning when you know somebody that did something, all right, and you can go this route. Read what you got.
The book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 31. Moreover, ye shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death.
Right, so we read that and we think, but that's talking about a murderer. He ain't killed nobody, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
God said you should take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer. The satisfaction ain't talking about what R. Kelly was getting from people. The satisfaction is talking about a bribe of money. You ain't supposed to take no money to absolve somebody that's worthy of death from their punishment. That's what the scripture is talking about, right? So let's prove this particular sin is worthy of death. Deuteronomy 22. Verse 25. Deuteronomy 22, verse 25.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die.
That means he's worthy of death. If you force a woman, go ahead.
But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter.
What is it called when somebody slays somebody? What is that called? Murder. So he said this matter of forcing a woman is just as murder. So God said, you ain't supposed to take no money to people that do sins like that. But, like she said, Robert got to him. Robert got to him, all right? So, I want to show a different clip real quick. I might have to find a timestamp, but I watched it. I ain't sent it in because I ain't, I was like, But now something that she said brought it to my mind. I'm finna send it up real quick. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take a little commercial break. We'll be back. Like I said, ain't nobody called in yet. Everybody talking about it.
Right.
Let's talk truth about it. All right? So don't go nowhere, y'all. We'll be right back with more. Let's talk truth.
What club was that at?
That was admit that a lot of people don't even realize that.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
But the Zulu Nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again.
I'm at war. With myself, I'm at war. I'm at war. How can these sins like no? I'm at war. With myself, I'm at war. I'm at war. How can these sins like no? Face the east when I pray, I repent of my ways. Call my bro just to talk, I repent of my ways. I got laws on my mind, yeah, I know that's the way. Fear and dread on my brain, wisdom trying my ways. Yeah, devil, he be lurking in the shadows. Trying to catch me slipping, it's a battle. But I stay girded from my loins up. This the price I pay when I serve the Lord. Gotta walk circumspect, Satan aiming for my neck. If I see sin, then I'm running Jezebel and get me at wisdom. Try me just to see if she can trust me, man. I pray to God I'm worthy. If I fall, never give up. War. With myself, I'm at war. I'm at war. How can these sins like no? I'm at war. With myself, I'm at war. I'm at war. How can these sins like no? It's a battle day to day. Gotta stay out the way. Try to run, try to escape, but my feet stuck in clay. I just wish you really knew how much it weighed, like the Wayne. But the level of the demon that I'm fighting, Hall of Fame. He in my brain for real, causing me pain for real. It's hard to restrain for real. He on the campaign to kill. I gotta fight, go to my lungs, focus on doing the will. I gotta pray, ask for the strength, hope the Lord give me the zeal. Done with the fours I loot, I'm seeking counsel and rebuke. Pray the evil gets reproved, spirits I'm trying to subdue. Man, this barbecue mildew, you're gonna be known by your fruits. To kill off the weed, she gotta go deep, gotta pull it by the roots. I'm at war. With myself, I'm at war.
I hope y'all ain't go nowhere, man. Hey,
Nah, they ain't go
look,
nowhere.
we just not getting started. All right, so now look, what came to my mind, because the sister in the interview, we're probably gonna have to go back to that interview too. But their sister was a singer. She was one of R. Kelly proteges. Sparkle, that was her name, right? The sister, the video we just saw. Right. Earlier in the interview, she was saying how, because they was asking her like, your parents or whatever, they didn't pick up no vibes from the dude, or you know what I'm saying, and all of that. And she said when she was getting signed, or now they had a meeting dealing with her first album, and her parents was there. And he said, she said, R. Kelly looked at her parents and told them, your daughter's so fine, I jerk off just looking at her. I gotta find a timestamp. But they still went forward with it. It shows you the mindset of our people. And what we about to show, it brought me to mind of this. You know what I'm saying? Because what we about to show it's something that I want to address dealing with this trial. But this is his wife, his ex-wife, Drea Kelly, the only woman to take his last name. And, the mother of his children, etc. And she goes into how she met R. Kelly. And she had a situation with her parents as well in the beginning. And basically the issue is, just like, how our mothers and stuff like that, they willing to, they push for our kids to go into the athletic. You know what I'm saying?
Go that field, right?
Like the young actors, the young movie stars, the young artists or whatever, the young TV stars, they just get thrown out there because the parents want their child to be famous. They want to make money off their children, and they turn a blind eye to a lot of evil and a lot of red flags. All right? And it's a scripture about that, especially dealing with our sisters. So play that.
Larry Sims, who is out in LA right now, he's like, come on down to the end of Chicago. If anybody knows about that, that's old school. Come to the end of Chicago. R. Kelly's having auditions. I'm like, I don't do that, darling. I'm a dancer.
I'm a ballet dancer.
I'm a theater bra. I don't do that, darling.
But you knew who he was, right?
I knew who he was because I known about, at that time, he was transitioning from public announcement.
Right.
He was going to do his Sex Me video. And of course, I'm a daddy's girl, so I'm thinking, now, how do you tell your daddy you're going to audition for a Sex Me video? So I was like, okay, I'm going to figure that out later once we see what that check look like. So go down there. This is how I end up meeting Lisa Ray, because it was actually the last dates of auditions, and it was the callbacks.
Okay.
And everyone knows audition etiquette. You don't go back on day of callbacks to audition.
Okay.
I get there. She's like, what's your name? I'm like, baby girl. She said, turn around. Let me see your booty. I'm like,
wow.
Wait, what? And she was like, just turn around. Let me see your booty. So I turned around, had this leotard on. She's like, ooh, Rob gonna like you. Here, take this number and walk in there.
And just go in.
And I auditioned.
So it was Lisa.
Got it. Yes,
Okay.
Lisa Ray.
So what did he say to you?
Pause.
So is he just looking?
So basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Her rites of passage. Lisa Ray had to be like, hey, let me see your booty. She showed her the booty through the little leotard or whatever. She's like, oh yeah, you in there, girl. You got it.
Come on,
For
man.
real.
You know why? Because she looks small and petite like a child.
Exactly. You on point. Nah, he on point. Play.
Looking at the body, did he ask you questions?
Actually, it was him. He was there, and I think like 4 other judges. And it was really like a real audition. You go up, they say, bam, do what you do. They tally up the score and tell you if you made it. But actually, I did this rolling split out of a chair. I was turned backwards, rolled out of the chair, end up in a split. And I just remember him going, you got it.
Okay, so we are now R. Kelly's dancer, and you are 19. What did your father say when you went back to say, Daddy, I'm dancing for him?
He was like, well, once you're done with college.
He said what?
Once you're done with college.
Once you're done with college.
Yes. Because I was in this transitional phase. I took some time off, went back, and my dad said, what got him to let me do it? I said, Dad, I can always go back to school. I can never go back to this chance.
Wow, an opportunity.
Here's a question really quick.
Wow.
When Lisa said to you that he's going to like you based on your...
You can pause. That's really all that's really all I wanted out of that. Get Leviticus 19:29. So the father, he didn't even say, girl, you too young and you don't need to be doing no Sex Me video. Y'all heard that song before, right? Sex Me. She was going to be in that video.
Come on now, dog.
She was auditioning for that video. Me as a father, you know what I'm saying? You supposed to be in college. You know what I'm saying? I want my daughter to be sophisticated. Brother, if you in the world, you know what I'm saying? You should want your daughter to be sophisticated.
Right.
And you find out that she just auditioned for the damn Pied Piper of R&B. Sex Me video. And he don't say, no, I condemn that or nothing. He say, after you finish college.
What the hell is this?
And she said, I can always go back to college, but I can never go back to the opportunity. The opportunity of what? Money. And that's what got him. That's what convinced the parent. But this is what God said. Read what you got.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore.
God said, don't prostitute your daughter. Letting your daughter get on videos and show her body. Even in today, you know, we got social media, TikTok. You know what I'm saying? OnlyFans. Now, all that is prostitution. But God said you ain't supposed to allow your daughter to make some money off of her body, off of her sexual enticing. That's a law. God said you shall not prostitute your daughter, because what do it do? Read.
Lest the land
Read it again.
Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore.
You cause your daughter to be a whore. The reason why that's heavy is because, you know, we look at basically a man that laid down with a woman and don't marry her, right? You're creating a whore. But God says, you know what I'm saying, when you have a daughter under your roof, under your fatherhood, you understand your authority as a father, and you allow her to go and do that, you're the one causing her to be a whore. The father, you're bearing that iniquity as the father. You're allowing her to go and voluntarily be a whore. Give her body to a man that's not marrying her for some monetary gain. What's going to happen behind that? Read on.
Lest the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness.
God said that has an effect on the entire land. The land become full of wickedness. That's why all our communities full of damn wickedness. Because of whoredom and prostitution. All right, it's the root of a lot of evil in our communities. All right, so go back to the interview. I really want to find a timestamp when she talked about that, about the audition. I know it's earlier in the interview. Go to like 5 minutes. Just play. We're going to find it real quick. Play that. Thing about R. Kelly. No, he ain't. Trust and believe me. They wanted their damn child to be a star.
Right.
They didn't care what the hell was going on. The little girl was already freaky age. Ain't nothing but a number 15. It's just something about you. I can't let you go. And
Come on now,
you
dog.
15.
Hey.
15.
As long as they get a check, that's what they were worried about. Forget
So,
the innocence.
in her mind, she like, well, the appearance, surely they didn't. Nah, this is fake. But little do she know that our men, as parents, fathers, would prostitute their damn daughter to be a whore. For real, little did she know. All right, keep playing.
And you know, that's where the dude said he met R. Kelly. The dude that said R. Kelly sucked him off. They met at McDonald's. Just throwing that out there.
Okay. Appreciate that, officer. All praises.
My dad. Your daughter's so fine.
All right, hold on.
I jerk off just
We
looking
gotta
at
get some context now. Go to like 10:45. Watch this. Wow.
Back to the tape.
Now, you can get off that. So I'm just showing he had multiple accounts, even with this woman that ended up being his wife, in which he did cross a bridge with the parents. You know what I'm saying? The parents peeped something with this guy, and they still allowed their daughters to follow through.
Come on now,
All right,
dog.
get Sirach 26 and verse 10. All right, this how God said we supposed to be with our daughters, and this gonna go along with the rest of what happened in the trial and whatnot. And we're gonna show a video where a sister spoke on it as well. But as fathers, that's why it's important that we gotta apply the scriptures. You got men out here that pray on them. You know, it is what it is. All right, read what you got.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, verse 10.
Come on.
If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straight.
Do what?
Keep her in straight.
God said if your daughter be shameless, she like to show her body, she's seductive, you know what I'm saying, etc. Keep her in, straightly. Don't let her be going out gathering abroad or whatever because she could be abducted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? God said keep her in straightly. Read.
Lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty.
You know what's heavy about that verse? It says she will abuse herself. All of these young women are coming forth about being victims of abuse. But girls, when they have so much freedom, they remember. Now, of course, we read about when a man forces a woman.
Right.
But, like the brother Kevin Samuel say all the time, men control access to relationships, women control access to sex. A lot of these young girls, they be going at a young age. They want to open their legs. They want to give it up. They want to do all these sexual escapades or whatever. And they end up being victims of abuse down the line. They get into these toxic relationships. They got men that treat them wrong or whatever. But it all started with them opening their legs, which really started with their father not applying the scripture, not keeping them in straightly, not watching their every move, not looking through their phone, or not letting them get on their phone, or not letting them go, or whatever, having too much liberty.
Be strict.
Because she gonna go out there and abuse herself. All right, read them.
Watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass
God
against
said, don't be surprised if she trespass against you. Read.
She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler.
She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler. He ain't talking about to sing, all right? A thirsty traveler open their mouth to receive fluid in their mouth. Message. God said this can be your daughter. She be a thirsty traveler out here receiving fluids in her mouth to quench her sexual thirst. Read on.
When he have found the fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down.
By every hedge will she sit down, read.
And open her quiver against every arrow.
So if you know anything about a quiver, it's the bag that holds arrows. So the quiver would be, the thing that she can open up and allow things to stick her, or y'all know what the hell the scripture is saying. For real, your daughter be out here taking all type of rod if you don't keep her in straightly. If you give her too much liberty. And that's what you see. That's why these women in these auditions for sex me videos and you know what I'm saying, all this and this and that, and down the line they want to say, oh, he was the devil, he was abusive, he did this and he did that.
Right.
But in the beginning, in actuality, you abused yourself because your father allowed it.
He failed.
Because he knew it was going to be some type of gain from it. All right? So now go to the next thing we had. So basically, like I said, we going through the history, different little stuff, building up to the trial over time. This was an interview years ago. All right? It's very popular. A lot of people didn't see it, know about it or whatever. Right? So we just want to show y'all, we want everybody to examine his disposition. You know what I'm saying? In the way that he, his body language, you know what I'm saying? The stuff that he's saying, his responses. I just want y'all to see. Because this is really kind of, it's funny, but it ain't funny. All right? Play the video.
Is it you agreed to do it? Why are you sitting down with us today?
I'm very tired of all of the lies. I've been hearing things and, and seeing things on the blogs and, I'm just tired.
What are the lies that you're hearing that disturb you most?
Oh my God. All of them. Got little girls trapped in the basement, helicopters over my house, trying to rescue someone that doesn't need rescuing because they're not in my house, handcuffing people, starving people. I have a harem, a cult. I don't even really know what a cult is, but I know I don't have one,
Have you done anything that you regret? Have you done anything wrong?
Lots of things wrong when it comes to women that I apologize, but I apologize in those relationships at the time I was in the relationships.
Have you broken any laws when it comes to women?
Absolutely not.
The 6-part series interviewed 50 people, family members, your former tour manager, numerous women who all claim that you abused them. Are you saying everybody in that documentary was not telling the truth about you? Everybody?
If you really look at that documentary, which I'm sure you have,
I have.
Everybody said something bad about me. Nobody said nothing good. They was describing Lucifer. I'm not Lucifer. I'm a man. I make mistakes, but I'm not a devil, and by no means am I a monster.
I'm going to name the names. Andrea Kelly, your ex-wife, Kitty Jones, Lisa Van Allen, Lisette Martinez, Jerronda Pace, Faith Rogers, Asante McGee. You're saying everything they said in that documentary about you is not true.
They are lying on me.
Why would these women say the same thing about you? That you are controlling, that you are abusive, that you tell women when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, when they can sleep, where they can dress. Why would all these women tell these different stories about you if they were not true? And they don't know each other. That defies logic to me.
Right. Until you hear the explanation. You can start a rumor on a guy like me or a celebrity just like that. All you have to do is push a button on your phone and say, so-and-so did this to me. R. Kelly did this to me. And if you get any traction from that, if you're able to write a book from that, if you're able to get a reality show, then any girl that I had a relationship in the past that it just didn't work out, she can come and say the same exact thing.
Are you blaming this on social media?
I'm talking about the power of social media.
Have you ever had sex
No.
with anyone under the age of 17?
No.
Never.
No.
I have to tell you, it's so hard.
Cap.
Aaliyah
you married her.
was 15
Saying
and
pregnant.
pregnant. So, get Sirach 20, verse 26.
This man is a liar.
You telling me, man?
The liar will be pointed out.
Right.
Stay tuned.
This is what we witnessing right now.
The
Read what
book,
you got.
the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 20 and verse 26. The disposition of a liar is dishonorable.
The disposition of a liar is dishonorable. His disposition, his mindset, he trying to deflect. He trying to cast blame. He trying to put forth the finger. He trying to, you know what I'm saying? Lie. God said the disposition of a liar is dishonorable. Go ahead.
And his shame is ever with him.
You see it on his face. He's shamed as hell. Nobody watched that interview. Well, I ain't gonna say no, I can't be naive. But most people that seen this damn interview, they went like, oh my gosh, he's innocent. You know what I'm saying? For real. He full of shame. Look at her face towards him. Like, she looking at him like, you should be ashamed of your damn self right now.
You a damn liar.
You lying to my damn face. That's a damn shame. Now you had some Edomites, the so-called professional body language
Experts of
whatever. They dissected the interview. I ain't feel like going through and picking the parts or whatever, but they made a lot of good points about a lot of the expressions and responses that he made and the way that he did it. And one of the points that they made it's not that what he think he's saying is true, but he believe what he's saying, especially like in the beginning part. Like, in his mind, people just after him for his money. You know what I'm saying? Like, people trying to do him wrong because stuff didn't go how in their mind it was supposed to go. Like, he really believed in what he's saying.
Right. It's the same thing he was saying in 2004 when with the blood and the sharks.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey,
Exactly.
She said, have you ever had any sexual relations with any underage woman? He said no, but in his mind he said, well, after Aaliyah, I ain't gonna. Yeah, after Aaliyah, yeah. In his mind, he was like, yeah. Like
you know,
Aaliyah
you
with
say
nobody.
no, but like
He said,
I know what you saying. Like
you think
you sleep.
That's know how niggas be lying, bro.
Right. All right, go back to the video.
Hard to believe that based on all that we've read
I'm gonna tell
and
you
what the
something,
women
Gail.
have said
There's one
about you.
I'm gonna
What
tell
the
you
women have
something.
said about you.
What women said about me. So nobody's allowed to be mad at me and be scorned and lie on me.
So they're lying on you. That's your explanation. They're lying on you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You feel that people have maligned your
I
character.
have been assassinated. I have been buried alive. But I'm alive.
So I think the point you're making is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
How stupid would it
never
be
held
for R.
anybody.
Kelly with all I've been through in my way, way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said. How stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you
That's
were holding.
stupid, guys.
I didn't.
Is this camera on me?
Yes.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle.
Robert,
stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. Y'all, I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me.
He acting.
You're killing me, man. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it.
Hey, them baby tears.
Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly paused the interview to give Kelly a moment. His publicist helped calm him down.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're going to let the camera keep rolling.
This is not, doesn't even make sense. Why would I hold all these women? Their mothers and fathers told me, we're going to destroy your career.
But Kelly's emotions remained raw.
It's real girls out there missing. It's real young girls out there being abducted, being raped, okay? They really are on chains. They really do have chains on their wrists, and they can't get out.
Robert,
and they're ending up buried in deep.
Robert, we have to have a conversation.
This is
Really,
not me.
I don't want you just ranting at the camera.
I came here for them to hear me talk.
But
I need help.
What kind of help?
This is the kind of help I need.
Yes, what kind of help?
I need somebody to help me not have a big heart. Because my heart is so big. People betray me, and I keep forgiving them.
You sound like you're playing the victim here. You sound like R. Kelly, you do. When I listen to you, it does sound like you're playing the victim
I'm just telling the truth. And the reason I'm emotional,
But Robert,
and I apologize for that, is because this is the first time I was able to say
speak.
something. Yeah. I've said nothing.
All righty. Hey, get struck 19.
Hey, he just said it at the end.
Huh?
He said,
so the Lord told us, he gave us the wisdom, to discern when you see people getting, unnecessarily emotional when they're being interrogated about some wrong that they've done. 9 times out of 10, they trying to use their emotions to pervert your judgment. God warned us about that thing. I ain't read what you got.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 19, verse 26. There is a wicked man that hangeth down his head sadly.
God said it. There's a wicked man that hangeth down his head sadly. Tears and all. Tears and all. But he wicked as hell. Read on.
But inwardly he is full of deceit.
But inwardly he full of this. He know damn well he done sexed 1,000 damn teenagers. And he gonna look you in your eye and say, absolutely not. Care. God said inwardly they full of deceit. They trying to deceive you. God said you gotta see them signs, man. You should be able to discern when somebody is trying to be deceitful by utilizing their emotions. Go to Proverbs 26 and 25. Watch this.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 26 and verse 25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not.
So he's saying all of this stuff, like, that I gave you 30 years of my career, and this is not about music. I want a relationship with my kids. And I can't do it. And they're trying to destroy me. And they lying on me. Y'all don't see this? You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
they're making
guys.
it sound good. Like I said, some people, I can't say everybody saw that and knew this brother was a damn, you know what I'm saying, full of SA. Some people was like, that That's not fair.
I love
That's
you.
not fair.
We do love you.
That's not fair.
Hey, the woman though, she was like, no, I thought the women do this type of stuff.
Right.
Calm your ass down, man. We gotta.
She's sitting there. She ain't even jump when he got up.
Hey, I thought you about to
Sit
knock
your
it,
ass.
but I,
Seems like you're playing the victim.
She looking at him like, this is ridiculous. You know what you're doing, right? You're playing a victim. This is common when people are guilty.
You're acting right now.
For real. God said, when they speak fair, believe them not. Read.
For there are 7 abominations in his heart.
This man is not right. He sitting in that damn chair with little girls on his damn mind. For real. Believe him not. You was finna say something?
Yeah, can I get a scripture?
Go ahead.
And let's go to Matthew 12 again. And let's start at verse 43. And it's a couple of things to notice in that too. Right at the end, he said, this is the first time I get to say something, but I ain't said nothing. That's the point. You ain't said nothing. Like, you ain't got nothing to say because it ain't real. Hey, but read what you got.
The book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 43.
Come on.
When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man,
His didn't leave, but keep going.
he walketh through dry places, seeking rest and findeth none.
So this spirit is gone now and it's seeking rest and it finds none. But read, watch this. This is what you know, what we see and is manifesting in R. Kelly. Read.
Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out.
I need to go home. It was too comfortable there. It was good over there. Keep going.
And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept and garnished.
So he didn't change. He went right back. Oh, this cleaned up for me? This for me? But read on.
Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits.
So these evil spirits, just like he just read, 7 abominations. These 7 spirits, read.
More wicked than himself. And they enter in.
And they enter back into him, or they enter into him, read.
And dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first.
Right. So, you know, maybe he started off with of age girls. And then he went to the young girls because he didn't escape this spirit. And then he went, oh, well, I got girls, little girls. I want to try a boy. Then he went to a boy. So these spirits starting to jump on him. Next thing you know, he's schizophrenic now, or he's bipolar. He got all these different demons on him because he wouldn't stop his sin. He didn't let it go. This is what we see and manifest. Out of everything we just sold. That's crazy.
Yep, the door was open.
It was open.
For real.
So
The closet was open.
The closet.
Yeah.
That closet had multiple doors in that closet that lead to another closet.
Right. Get the next thing. So we kind of touched on it last week. Nah, get the hyper. Yeah. We kind of touched on it last week. Well, we really touched on this last week. You know, dealing with hypersexuality. The name of it was when sex becomes idolatry. Right. So, like you were just bringing out, right? It may start out, you know, you just like, you know, women,
Regular.
and then you get so much of that you want to experiment, and then you find new fetishes. You like this woman. Oh, she was young, so let me try younger. Ooh, the younger the better.
Right.
And then boys, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you just get into this abyss of wickedness, this abyss of sexual lasciviousness. All right? Read that.
Hypersexuality. Compulsive sexual behavior is sometimes called hypersexuality, hypersexuality disorder, or sexual addiction. It's an excessive preoccupation with sexual fantasies, urges, or behaviors that is difficult to control, causes you distress, or negatively affects your health, job, relationships, or other parts of your life.
Right. So your life it revolves around sex now. You know what I'm saying? Now, this man had a career. He was not only just an artist, but a producer. You know what I'm saying? He had talent. But you got to think of the time and energy it took to make chambers and hire people to lure people and you know all the stuff he was found guilty of.
Right.
That's that becomes a whole, you running a chocolate factory. That's your life. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you said, yeah.
That becomes your life. I get Colossians 3 verse 5, dealing with hypersexuality. And pull up the definition of concupiscence.
He said he need help. He really was lashing out at first.
Hey, didn't that gay boy said he had he had like a female like come out from under a hidden chamber in the boxing ring?
Hey,
he was thinking
Not like in wrestling, you know how people be coming from the butt of the ring.
Right, pull a weapon or something.
Bro. He did a
Why
Thor.
she come out of there?
She just popped up out there.
Damn. Like what you got going?
We ain't saying that's true.
Right. Because the gay boy could have been lying. The gay boy could have been lying.
Allegedly. Read what you got.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 5.
Come on.
Mortify, therefore, your members.
Right, the mortify means to subdue. All right, take control of it and put it under you. Read.
Which are upon the earth. Fornication.
Fornication. So God said if you got the spirit of fornication, you got the urge to fornicate, you need to get rid of that. You need to kill that. Read.
Uncleanness.
Uncleanness, come on.
Inordinate affection.
Inordinate affection. Now, I know the word inordinate is not a Negro word, but the root word is order. And inordinate means it's out of order. So a man laying with a man, that's out of order. A man laying with a child, that's out of order.
Right.
A man laying with a boy child is extra out of damn order. God said if you got urges towards children, and let alone children of the same sex, that's inordinate affection. You need to kill that. All right, read.
Evil concupiscence.
Evil concupiscence. Evil concupiscence. All right? Now watch this. Read the definition.
Concupiscence. Concupiscence. Strong sexual desire. Lust.
Strong. So, strong sex, you got to think. All right? You may have concupiscence. Like you married, right? And, your wife or your husband, whatever, you're very attractive. And you see him, you get a strong sexual desire or whatever. Okay. That's why he said to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife. Right. Every woman have her own husband, right? But when you say evil concupiscence, that means you got a strong sexual desire or sex drive or libido or sexuality or sexual passion and all that towards another man's wife, another man's child, a little girl, a little boy. That's evil concupiscence. That's evil hypersexuality. All right? God said you got to mortify that if you want to get the kingdom. Right. Or you going to die here. All right? Now go to the next thing we had, the video.
R. Kelly, man, repent in jail.
We ain't going to play all of it, but this is, sister, like I said, the docuseries that came out was what got him the charges that he just got found guilty of. And, she going to discuss some of the points from it, and she going to make some good points. All right, play that.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl Sassy Ming Lee from the $1 Million TV. Now, I hope you guys all had a happy new year and that you guys are starting 2019 off with a bang. I also like to say welcome to all of my new subscribers. Thank you guys for joining the family. I promise you won't regret it. Now, I had to drop in and talk about the talk of the town, which is Lifetime's new 3-night special called Surviving R. Kelly. This special is definitely a mouth and ear and an eye full, child. Okay, tonight is the 3rd night, and I suggest that if you haven't seen it already, that you guys go out there to mylifetime.com and catch up with night 1 and night 2, or just check your local listings. Now, let's get into this because I do want to share some of my most shocking moments, and you guys can agree or disagree in the comments if you like. Most shocking thing for me was the fact that Aaliyah was actually pregnant by R. Kelly. That kind of broke my heart because it was like, she did carry a lot of mystery around her as an artist, and I feel like that may be one of the things that contributed to the mysterious side to her. And another shocking moment for me was the fact that R. Kelly threw his own brother under the bus. Okay, allegedly it was just the attorney, but I feel like R. Kelly had to consent for the attorney to go in court and say, hey, on this sex tape, this wasn't R. Kelly, but this was my brother, Carrie. That was shady as hell. I had to take a page from Wendy Williams' book and say, yeah, okay, R. Kelly, I'm sure it was just your attorney. Stop it. Another shocking moment for me was, of course,
Hey, get that in Leviticus 19, verse, I think it's 16. So, the law talks about basically, it talks a lot about false witnesses. Like one of the 10 Commandments is thou shalt not bear false witness. Because we had a lot of cases in which we had matters that needed to be judged. And the damage a false witness could do could be getting somebody put to death, getting somebody a certain sentence, a certain judgment that they was not guilty of.
Right.
So God had strict laws when it came to being a false witness. So this man, his own brother, now I remember hearing that as a child. The way I heard it was his brother took the charge for him, so he could remain out and have his career. I didn't know about him actually throwing his brother under the bus. Like, nah, that was him. He had to choose the person that looked like him the most. Be like, nah, that was him. That wasn't me.
Come on
All right,
now,
read
dog.
what you got.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer.
Right, a talebearer is somebody that's telling false tales. Right now, just being a talebearer, it's like petty stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's levels to it. Like, so-and-so, I seen so-and-so grab that pencil off the desk. You know what I'm saying? Like, now basically you want people to look at him like he a thief, but he didn't do that. So little stuff like that, it could be little petty stuff, but it can damage a person's reputation because they didn't do it. God said, don't be no damn talebearer. Don't do that. Read on.
Among thy people. Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor.
So this is the extreme level of talebearing, meaning this person didn't do this crime, but they facing death. And you stand against the blood of your neighbor, you basically testifying that he did it. Yep, he sure did. It was him. You know what I'm saying? Knowing damn well he finna get put to death for this. This is gonna ruin the rest of his life.
Come on,
He
man.
did that to his own brother. Dang. Wow. All right, go back to the video.
Sparkle, which was R. Kelly's musical protege, she's crying on this special saying that she introduced her niece to R. Kelly, which happened to be one of the young girls on the pornography tapes with R. Kelly that went viral. I feel like Sparkle's hiding something. My gut tells me that there's more to the story with Sparkle because she openly admits that she witnessed his ex-wife Andrea knocking on the room door to step out and ask if she can have food, as if though R. Kelly was her dictator. So when you see little things like that, why would you bring your 13 or 14-year-old niece around that because she wants to be an artist? Really? Okay, Sparkle. I thought it was completely shocking that R. Kelly was starving these girls for 2 to 3 days at a time if they were disobedient. The idea of having a girl in different rooms and the rooms being dark and they can't speak or leave the room until they get permission from him, and his complex with people calling him daddy. It was just shocking to me that all of these things were happening and no one on his team said anything. You had his tour manager / personal assistant, Demetrius, enabling everything. He had openly admits in this special that he forged the marriage papers between Aaliyah and R. Kelly. Now that to me was disturbing because he also openly admits that, you know, we would have to go to the malls and get girls for R. Kelly. Now, when you were choosing these girls, I would think that maybe you would ask the age. And you're an accomplice, Demetrius, and we definitely have to recognize that. Yes, R. Kelly is sick. Yes, he has a lot of demented and crazy ways. And, you know, it's never okay to abuse these ladies. It's never okay to starve them. And it's never okay to mentally abuse them and treat them like these sex slaves. But we also have to hold a lot of these women accountable. Example number one, Lisa Van Allen meets R. Kelly on the video shoot. Same day, she gives him fellatio. She gives him head on the very first day that she meets him. So a lot of people will label you as a groupie, a hoe on the video set. You were a promiscuous young 17-year-old girl that gave R. Kelly head on the first day that you met him. Where did you think things were gonna go then? And because it got crazier and crazier and you entered a sex dungeon or somewhat of a demented person's house, it doesn't take away from the fact that you need to hold yourself accountable for diving into the situation openly and freely. Okay, now another survivor, Geronda Pace.
Well, no. Let it play.
Geronda Pace was waiting outside of R. Kelly's trial case with signs supporting R. Kelly as he was going in to defend a case of child pornography. Geronda Pace, to me, she was the person I had the least sympathy for on this special, and you guys could agree or disagree, but she walked into this thing not blindly, with two open eyes, okay? As she stated, she cut school, her mom was never home, she used to cut school to go support R. Kelly at the trial case, and eventually, things happened. As she also stated, she was a big fan of his. On MySpace, she made friends with a girl named Dominique who also was a fan of R. Kelly, and she invited Dominique over to the house. Now, allegedly, Dominique is still at this house with R. Kelly, being a slave, being abused. You young girls, I'm gonna say you guys thought it was cool. It was like a trend for you at this point, because we're not talking about Lisa Van Allen from back in 1998. We're talking about Geronda Pace from just less than a decade ago that was outside of this trial case doing this. She knew well enough within the blogs and the tabloids what this guy could have been, okay? Let me be quite frank with you guys. There are women across this world right now being kidnapped, thrown into SUVs, and being treated as sex slaves. These women that are being kidnapped do not see the day of light and are not able to contact their families. However, these girls with R. Kelly, they're standing outside of his court case, trying to make conversation with him, showing up at his video shoots, aspiring singers looking for an opportunity. They're walking into these situations wanting something in return, and because what they got in return is not necessarily what they want, you can't necessarily scream victim. Okay, and there is a turning point where you go into the situation and say, okay, this is not what I anticipated. Now let me call my mom, let me call my brother, let me call my sister and find a way out. Okay, time and time again, a lot of women in the industry are frowned upon and looked at as women that are trying to extort these artists for money. So with this situation, I wouldn't necessarily say that all of them were out for the money, but a lot of these women knew what they were doing when they came into R. Kelly's presence, when they had sex with him the first night, when they moved into his house and left their parents' house, when they saw that they weren't speaking to their parents and felt like it was okay. You had to know at some point that something was not right. And it wasn't until R. Kelly slapped you to the floor or starved you for 3 days that you realized, oh shit, I'm in the crazy house. The special is entirely shocking to me. I think it teaches a lot to these young girls. You guys have to.
So, no, play that. She said one more thing. Keep playing.
Learn to love yourself. You guys have to also come to terms with holding self-accountability for some of the things that you're doing. This is also a lesson for a lot of the parents. You guys have to really be heavily involved in your children's life. You guys need to intervene, speak to them, because a lot of these victims are girls who had parents who weren't home and who weren't involved in their lives as much as they should be. I am so ready to see special.
So yeah, that's it. Now I guess right, chapter 12. So there's very, very heavy points that she made. All right. Now, this is what, because remember the scripture we read earlier about rape, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the end, it said, for she cried out. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of these women, really damn near all of them, they didn't cry out. They went into it seeking something from R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? He wasn't just snatching girls up against their will. That's the point. And he been having this reputation for years, decades.
That's what I'm saying. He'll say that he ain't kidnapping them, but he trying to be slick with it, man.
Exactly.
Like once he got them in there, that really wasn't kidnapping.
Exactly.
But the stuff that he doing inside the house, who knows? That can lead to forms of kidnapping.
Right.
But he didn't force him. Like I didn't put nobody into my car.
Right.
And, I didn't do this and that. Yes. But nigga, you still did this and that though.
Right.
Within the house, right?
Yeah, you know, he be trying to play, man. But this is not about. Well, it is about him, but it's still about them sisters. Just like that lady, what's her name, Sassy Mingley. It both of them are accountable. Don't just think this about Kels.
Yeah, that's the Lord's gonna judge everybody. I know this was his time to get the judgment. We're talking about his verdict, but the Lord gonna judge everybody.
That's right.
This is right 12. That's when judgment gets sticky, man. When certain stuff don't get brought out until later. Until, you know what I'm saying? Something doesn't go in your favor. But you got yourself, just like the boy, the 17-year-old boy. I was willing to do whatever to get whatever.
Right.
I wasn't into it. And then the next time, I would tell the next time if he did something you didn't want him to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just wanted to get somewhere in the music. Well, that's your damn fault. But at the end of the day, the brother's still wicked and nasty for all of that. So like I said, both sides get judged. But watch this, because she said, like the girl that was supporting him and all that, she had little sympathy for her. And that's biblical. Read what you got.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, and verse
13.
Verse 13.
Come on.
Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? Or any such as come nigh wild beast?
Right, so a charmer play with snakes. All right, now if you playing with snakes and a snake bites you, you know what I'm saying? That's just like, we tell our kids, stop running. You know what I'm saying? The flow with stop running. And they keep running. They fall. Y'all ain't never heard. That's what you get. That's what y'all get.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? For real. You playing with a snake and it bites you. Your ass shouldn't have been playing with the damn snake.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You in the jungle with lions, tigers, and bears, like that's your habitat. That ain't your habitat. You know what I'm saying? You get torn apart by a tiger, that's your damn fault. You shouldn't have been out there with tigers that eat humans. All right, read on.
So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity?
Notice it say one that goeth to a sinner. You're going to a man that calls himself the Pied Piper.
Right.
Come on
He
now,
said, all you got to do is be 18. I don't see nothing wrong. You going to this man. And you defile with him you in his damn chamber getting tortured and you know what I'm saying? Who will pity? Well, the simple, of course they gonna pity. But telling you, everybody gonna get their share of judgment in this. All right? It's just R. Kelly time. But you can get out of that, though. Go to the next thing. This is basically going into, we wrapping it up or whatever, but these are some things that we wasn't able to see at R. Kelly's, CNN wasn't able to see at R. Kelly's trial. So it's third-party information from inside sources, basically. All right, so read that.
What we were not allowed to see at R. Kelly's trial. CNN. Before the federal trial for R. Kelly even began, It was shrouded in secrecy, with journalists and the public barred from the courtroom where prosecutors laid out the racketeering case against the singer, charges that could send him to prison for decades. U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly decided to keep media out of the courtroom less than a month before the August 18 start of the trial because of the pandemic. She said jurors needed to be seated in the courtroom gallery because of social distancing recommendations and that it would be inappropriate to seat members of the press with them.
So this is, real quick, this is why when people ask, where's the video, where's the proof, like have they showed what exactly happened? None of the people that have the media coverage were able to get in any of that stuff due to COVID-19 restrictions in the courtroom. Only people that were allowed in were the jurors, the prosecutors, and the defendant. Go ahead.
Despite her concerns over the pandemic, she did not require jurors to be vaccinated, something her colleague, U.S. District Judge William Kuntz, did require for jurors at a trial he is overseeing that's also underway in the same courthouse. Judges are responsible for their own courtrooms, and it is not uncommon for rules to differ from courtroom to courtroom.
Scroll down.
Donnelly's decision created obstacles for journalists covering the trial. They couldn't see important pieces of evidence or watch how the jurors reacted to testimony, among other issues. And journalists could not voice their concerns in real time since they were placed in a courtroom 2 floors away where Kelly's trial was taking place. Even during the trial of Mexican cartel leader Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, held at the same courthouse in 2019, the jurors and their reactions could be seen by the public, including the press. Guzman was ultimately convicted on all 10 federal criminal counts against him, including racketeering and in spending the rest of his life in prison. Roger Knauf, a former prosecutor who focused on cases involving sex abuse, said in his 25 years practicing, he has never seen a jury completely blocked from the public's view. The right to a speedy and public trial is fundamental in the U.S., and the criminal justice process should not be shrouded. Knauf told CNN, even in high-profile and emotionally charged cases, it is unusual.
Jump down to where it says the video. Scroll up some. It's in here. Journalist wanted to read the proceedings.
The proceedings were barely visible on 2 flat screens that featured security camera feeds showing a wide shot of the courtroom. Witnesses' faces appeared to be about the size of a quarter. It was difficult to tell whether witnesses became emotional on the stand. Evidence appeared in a black box on the screen that was too small to read.
So the evidence that proved Robert Kelly, which made him be found guilty at the end of the trial, was shown on the screen for the jurors to see. But since the people that were on the second floor watching the trial could only see the courtroom from security cameras, they had a wide view of the courtroom, and they only could see the small box on the TV in that room. Jump down some more. Scroll down some more. All right, right there.
Journalists and the public could not raise their objections with the judge as prosecutors began showing key audio and video evidence to jurors wearing headphones.
So the audio and video were shown to the jurors, but they had headphones on listening to all of it.
The recordings, which Donnelly described in court as somewhat upsetting, were shown to jurors on September 15. The public could not see the jurors' reactions to them and did not know what they contained, aside from 2 recordings discussed in September 14 filing from prosecutors. According to the court filing, one video recording, purportedly showed Kelly entering a room with 2 women in it and accusing one of the women of lying. Prosecutors say he can then be heard beginning to physically assault the women. In another recording, which prosecutors described as an hour-long audio file, Kelly confronted an unnamed woman for stealing a watch and threatened and physically assaulted her. Prosecutors said He also told the woman people get murdered for doing what she did. These types of threats were central to the prosecutor's case that Kelly used coercion to control his victims.
So this, if you read the article, you just see that it's going more into what's happening in the chocolate factory. At the courtroom, they had the videos, they had the audio of exactly how narcissistic and hypersexual this guy was.
Right. So in other words, I know it's a lot of people being simple. Where the proof at? They're just gonna sentence that man with no proof. That article explains why the proof and the evidence and all that wasn't able to be publicized. All right, so get a few scriptures in closing. It's one that I wanted to get earlier, I didn't grab. Let me get Sirach 20 and 22, dealing with going back to basically the prostitution of your daughter. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, and the people on this team, the people that knew, didn't speak out or whatever, the man was able to do. That's why God said you got to bear that iniquity. Because the reason why he was able to do this so long was because people was so caught up in his success. Like, no, I don't want to mess up his success, and his music so good, and I don't want to see R. Kelly in jail. That's my favorite singer. You know what I'm saying? How we gonna get these hits if he in jail getting hit? You know what I'm saying? So, this what God said about that. Read what you got.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 20 and verse 22. Come on. There is that destroyeth his own soul through bashfulness.
Come on.
And by accepting of persons.
By what?
By accepting of persons.
Accepting of persons. You accept the evil that this brother doing. You see it, but you accept it because he R. Kelly. He's a star.
Exactly.
He's an idol. That means you don't care about what God wants you to do. He's an idol. By accepting of persons, read.
Overthroweth himself.
Right, and that's why all of these women got abused, because of the accepting of persons. All right, now go to Sirach 25. Get Luke 8:17 first. So we touched on it in the beginning about how the Lord will do this, how he will expose you. And this is for all of y'all that's in wickedness. His trial is, the Lord is showing, man, like, don't think you're going to slide with nothing. It don't matter what the image you got, the lawyers you got, the money you got, the Lord going to bring out your wickedness. All right? Read what you got.
The book of Luke, chapter 8, verse 17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest.
Read.
Neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad.
You see that? So that's why this stuff coming out. All right? Now get Sirach 25. Sirach 25, verse 2. So I want to show y'all, man, look, it's not about what we think. It's not about, look, we not judging the brother. I know people like, oh, you can't judge him and don't act like you ain't did stuff. And hey,
Come on now, dog.
I'm not judging the brother. You know what I'm saying? But God is. God is, though. All right? Watch this. Read that.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 2.
Come on.
3 sorts of men my soul hateth, and I am greatly offended at their life.
So wait a minute. So God said these 3 type of men he hate, and he is offended at their life.
Your life is
He is offended at their life. Pay attention. All right, read.
A poor man that is proud.
A
rich man that is a liar.
A what?
A rich man that is a liar.
A rich man that is a liar. God said he ain't there. People try to use their money and resources to cover up their wickedness. God hates that. He offended at their life. Read.
And an old adulterer.
A what?
An old adulterer.
R. Kelly was charged when he was 54 years old. His girlfriend at the time was like 19, 20, early 20s.
Wow.
God said he hates a what?
An old adulterer that doted.
An old adulterer that's still out here with running the damn chocolate factory. The Lord offended at their soul. The Lord don't want to see this man out here. What do you say? They trying to sum my life, but I'm still alive. What do you say? I'm buried alive.
Right.
Right, I'm buried alive, but I'm alive. Lord is
But I'm
offended
alive.
at the fact that you're alive. That's what the Bible just said. For real. Get Colossians 3. Colossians 3, verse 25.
Said, but I'm alive.
This is not about music.
Colossians 3, verse 25.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 25. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done.
What did God say?
But he that doeth wrong.
He that doeth wrong. It don't matter if you didn't see nothing wrong. Message. All right. The Lord said it was wrong. All right. He that doeth wrong shall what?
Shall receive for the wrong which he have done.
He gonna receive for the wrong which he have done. Now, some super Hebrews might be thinking, no, only God. See, he received the wrong from God. You know, God deal with him. We ain't supposed to be cool with the white man convicting him because the white man had raped people and da da da. I know there's some super deep Hebrews out there that's finding some way to say the brother should have got convicted. But God said, he that do it wrong shall receive for his wrong. Watch this. Romans 13. The Lord will use this evil white. That's a testament to your evil. He going to use the most evil man in the world to convict you for your evil. All right. You going to receive for that wrong. And it's a guarantee when he go to jail in that federal prison, he going to receive a whole lot of wrong. He going to see the recompense for his error, which is meat.
You're telling me that?
For real. With Romans 13 and 1.
The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 1.
Come on.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Read.
For there is no power but of God.
Right. It's no power established in the earth unless it's of God. Read.
The powers that be are ordained of God.
They set up by God. Now, this white man in particular is set up not because God chose him or likes him. No, he hates them according to the Bible. But it's because of our iniquity. All right? God said we was going to have to serve our enemies. That's why they set up. Read.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power.
If you resist the power, meaning you resist they laws that they put in place. Read.
Resisteth the ordinance of God.
Right, meaning what? It's of God that you have an age of consent. It's of God that you have, according to this statute or whatever, she's too young to engage in sexual activity with a grown man. You understand? So when you go against that law and you getting 15-year-olds pregnant, you resisting ultimately the power of God.
Right.
God, that's inordinate affection. Read on.
And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
Life sentences. Go ahead.
For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil.
So if he was a regular R&B singer, you know, just being regular, giving back to his community or whatever, the laws wouldn't mess with him.
Hell no.
But God said they are terror to them that do evil. Read on.
Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power?
Come on.
Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same.
Come on.
For he is the minister of God to thee for good.
Read.
But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid.
God said, be afraid of that white man if you out here doing evil, because he will catch you. He will arrest you, and he will throw you in jail and throw away the damn key. Be afraid of him. Go ahead.
For he beareth not the sword in vain.
He beareth not the sword in vain. That sword is talking about the ability to judge your black ass.
Right.
The Lord said he don't bear that in vain. Read.
For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil.
God uses him to avenge the wickedness that our people do. That's why these drug kingpins and prostitution ringleaders and all that of our people, they got what they deserve. And it's really of the Lord's mercy because behind them bars, they can repent and find God. Just like King Manasseh, he was wicked. He was a damn devil. But when he was in, that position that he was when he in jail, something similar to that.
Babylon.
Yeah, he was in jail in Babylon and he repented. All right, so that's the mercy of the Lord. He got his sentence, Lord's willing. He find the brothers that's in the truth in jail and he give his life to Christ, the black Messiah. All right, get his, because he can be, get that in Matthew 12, and then I'm going to hit Matthew 12:31. Because like I said, we not condemning this brother. You know what I'm saying? For real. Because we all us have pretty and done stuff that's more than likely worthy of death also. You know, it is what it is. So we not condemning the brother. We just showing y'all what the Bible say about his deeds.
That's
all
right.
But at the end of the day, this, you know, he can still go to heaven. Not on no damn believe on the name of the Lord though. And yeah, get dipped in some damn prison water.
Prison piss.
Read what you got.
The book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 31. Wherefore I say unto you, all manner of sin and blasphemy shall be forgiven unto men. But the blasphemy against the Holy Ghost shall not be forgiven unto men.
So God said all manner of sin can be forgiven. All right? Except if you start walking into this truth, you know what I'm saying? You repent, you get your ways right, and then you go back into your folly. And that's a whole nother story.
Right.
But, you know, just in general, he find the truth, he give his life to Christ, he can be forgiven. He could be one of the 144. He can go from, he can go from being a damn pedophile to a prophet. You know, that's the hope, that's the wish. God said he don't want any man to perish, but that we all come to repentance. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, y'all got something before we get to Proverbs?
We'll send you a letter. Prison
Right.
letter.
Right.
We will.
Hey, go to Sirach 9. These 2 verses, and then I'll pass it back. 9 and verse 11. Sirach 9 and 11. Because officer was mentioning, and then we played the video with the sister that's waiting on the outside for him. When we get spirits like this, when it come to famous people. So watch what the Bible says about sinners. Read this.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 9, verse 11.
Come on.
Envy not the glory of a sinner.
The Bible says, envy not the glory of a sinner. A lot of them that's envying him because he got money, like he was saying. He got this and that. He had it at the time. But we not just talking about R. Kelly. We talking about any other famous person that may be out there that's doing the same stuff. But they haven't got caught yet. Read on.
For thou knowest not what shall be his end.
So when you start envying people like that, you don't know their end. You don't know. But it's revealed today that his end is, his judgment was time in the cell. But keep going.
Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in.
Do not delight in that. And a lot of times we get the young boys. That's why, like the young boy that said, I don't really do that, but he just stood there and took it. He was really delighting in that industry. Oh, he got all the girls. He got the money. The Bible says don't delight in that ungodly stuff. Keep going.
But remember, they shall not go unpunished unto their grave.
Right. At the end of the day, there could be a judgment for that. Death can happen if you continue that way. It's not going to go unpunished. That's what the Bible says. All praises.
Real quick, just to land back out there. Go to Psalms chapter 10. Psalms chapter 10, let's start at verse 4. Start at verse 4. This is dealing with the wicked, dealing with the covetous, dealing with those that may be rich in this world and got certain advantages. This be their mindset. And his, like I said in one of the articles, it talked about how, you know, he told his brother, God didn't give me another chance. You know, when he beat the sex tape case, I gave me another chance. My money gave me another chance. I ain't got to talk about that. Psalms 10, verse 4.
The book of Psalm, chapter 10, verse 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts.
Obviously, God was not in their brother thoughts.
Right.
Read on.
His ways are always grievous.
Come on.
Thy judgments are far above out of his sight.
It says that God's judgments were far above out of his sight. Read on.
As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
Watch this.
He said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
In his mind, that's what he said when he hired them people and paid people off and set this up and did all that. He was like, I ain't never getting caught. I'm the Pied Piper. Yeah, I'm a living legend. You hear me? I ain't going nowhere. Go ahead.
His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud.
Read.
Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Jump down to verse 11.
Verse 11. He hath said in his heart, God hath forgotten. He hideth his face. He will never see it.
That's what he thought. He said, God hide his face. He ain't gonna never see it. He ain't worried about my chocolate factory. God ain't gonna never see this thing.
He ain't got the key.
For real, his wife never seen it. If I can hide it from my wife, surely I can. The Lord ain't seeing it. Right, exactly. A pure idiot. All right, one more, Sirach 16. We're gonna get the proverb of the week. I'm sorry. It's just so much. So many scriptures, so many teaching points with this thing. All right, Sirach 16, verse 11.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 16, verse 11. And if there be one stiff-necked among the people, it is marvel if he escape unpunished.
Right, if it's one stiff-necked among the people, it would be a huge surprise if he escape unpunished. Go ahead.
For mercy and wrath are with him.
Right, God is merciful and willing to forgive, but he also is full of wrath, ready to avenge the sins of sinners. Go ahead.
He is mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure.
He is mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure and to pour out life sentences and to pour out diseases, because he had some of them too. The Lord is mighty to pour that out. Go ahead.
As his mercy is great, so is his correction also. He judgeth a man according to his works.
Read.
The sinner shall not escape with his spoils.
What did God say?
The sinner shall not escape with his spoils.
God said the sinner ain't gonna get away. He might get away in the sight of men.
Right.
Like we read in the first place, Ecclesiastes 8, though a wicked man do evil 100 times, it shall not go well with the wicked. The Lord gonna judge him according to his works. Read.
And the patience of the godly shall not be frustrated.
All right, jump down to 17.
Verse 17.
Come on.
Say not thou, I will hide myself from the Lord.
So this should teach us all a lesson. This trial, everything that happened, how it went down, we should all be able to now realize we cannot say that we able to hide ourselves from the Lord. Don't think that. Read.
Shall any remember me from above? I shall not be remembered among so many people.
Because notice, he even brought that up. It's people, it's girls really out here missing. What he really saying is, it's people doing bigger kidnapping, sex trafficking, and you know what I'm saying? Right. And they not caught yet. Y'all worried about me? I gave y'all 30 years of my career. Y'all already took my money out of child support. You know what I'm saying? Go get them. Go and get them. For real.
Is this camera on me?
No, nigga, we want you.
Exactly. Read on.
For what is my soul among such an infinite number of creatures?
Read.
Behold the heaven and the heaven of heavens, the deep and the earth, and all that therein is, shall be moved when he shall visit.
The Lord gonna reveal everything. He
That's
gonna move
right.
out every damn dungeon and cellar and lock and combination and everything
Any
you
boxing
got.
ring.
For
cage.
real. He gonna move it out the way and reveal your sin, your evil. All right? So, y'all had anything else? Anybody? Go ahead, Os.
1 Timothy 5 and verse 20. Because what y'all seeing and what y'all witnessing right now is the prophets coming with rebuke, coming with the scriptures and trying to get our people to correct the mistakes or the things that they doing right now. All right, so read what you got.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 20. Them that sin, rebuke before all.
So we rebuking in front of all. You know what I'm saying? We broadcasting from the underground to Israel, you know what I mean? So our people can correct themselves. You see what I'm saying? Even if, let's just say, even if he wasn't guilty of all charges, some of that, a lot of that stuff he did. You see what I'm saying?
It's proven.
It's proven. A lot of the stuff he's done. We already know. Okay, he was with the 15-year-old. He was on the videos. And stuff like that's proven. So, read it again.
Them that sin, rebuke before all.
Come on.
That others also may fear.
Let you know he ain't the only one. He not the only one. So Israel, correct it. Hey, these people out here, y'all are celebrities, correct it.
Chapter 6, verse 9. I meant to pull this earlier too. All right. This what leads to a lot of this mess. All right, read what you got.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare.
Why? Because when you become rich and popular, you have access and abilities to lure and manipulate and, you know what I'm saying, do a lot of the stuff that he was able to do. So, like you said, the man started out, he was just a sex fiend for women, right? But when you get rich, you got this alleyway to all type of diverse temptations. All right, God said them that will be rich will fall into that. Read on.
And into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
Right, and also the young women and men that came to him seeking record deals, and I want to be famous, and I got talent or whatever. And R. Kelly would tell them, well, you got to do something strange for a piece of change. All right, and that led to foolish and hurtful lusts. All right, that involves mouths and holes and, you know, ropes and hog ties and read on.
Come
and
on,
piss,
man.
yes, piss. Ain't no telling how hot it was. All right, read on.
Which drown men in destruction and perdition.
And pissing.
Damn.
Go ahead.
The piss drowned.
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
Right. There's a lot of the stuff evolving around his trial was dealing with the love of money. That's why the parents consented to their young girls being around this man and doing the things, you know. Hey, it is what it is. It was all about the love of money.
You so strange for a little piece of change.
Which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith.
Come on.
And pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
Pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So Proverb of the week, Proverbs 11 and 21. I'm going to wrap it up. Proverbs 11 and verse 21. Like I said, the Lord used this thing right here to teach us a lesson. He had the prophets expound and give y'all the sense so y'all can take heed. All right, we in the last days, man. Ain't no time to be finding nothing wrong with bumping and grinding with just anybody, especially underage people. All right, read what you got.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 21. Though hand join in hand.
Because he still got a lot of supporters, a lot of people, you know, trying to say, like, you know, which is true about the girls. A lot of the victims, so-called victims, they wasn't crying out, you know what I'm saying, until later when they saw opportunity for a come-up. So he got people, you know, saying you need to come out of the jail. But look what God said, read.
The wicked shall not be unpunished.
God said the wicked shall not be unpunished. The brother got to get punished for his wicked deeds. For real. But everybody going to get their turn in judgment. The Leviticus 5 and 1, the ones that will bear their iniquity, you know what I'm saying? The little whores that was promiscuous and knew what they was doing, trying to get some profit. Like you say, the adulterers seek for the precious life. Oh, man, hey, everybody gonna get their judgment. It is what it is, but it's no saving R. Kelly. It's no justifying him at all. All right? The wicked will not go unpunished. All right? Read on.
But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
So it will behoove you to strive to be righteous in these last days if you want to get delivered. If not, you're going to be punished in this life or judgment day. However you want it, the Lord going to serve it up to you. All right? So repent, all right, and seek the Lord your God.
Right.
So
hey, can I
you'll be
give
delivered.
one more scripture also?
Go ahead.
1 Timothy 5. 1 Timothy 5 and verse 6. So, like you were just saying, even with the, because I remember when we was watching the one video, she was like, now the women got to be accountable as well. So 1 Timothy 5:6.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 5 and verse 6. But she that liveth in pleasure.
She that liveth in pleasure. The pleasure going into, in this case right here, sex before marriage, sex with a man that's way older than you. Just like the woman was saying, her father and them, they just wanted her to go and get the money. They wasn't considering her age and what's the turnout gonna be.
Right.
They was just thinking about the check.
Right.
So it says she that liveth in what?
But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
She dead while she liveth. Because all of the things that she thinks she reaping right now is gonna get better. Nah, look at you now. That's all I heard.
All praise to the
But I'm
Most High
alive.
God. Hey, yep, riches profit you not in the day of judgment, in the day of wrath. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get it. He got it. So it is what it is. That's the R. Kelly trial. Did nobody call in and chop it up with us?
Hey, y'all need to call in.
Oh,
You know what else?
hold on, wait. We got one more thing to show. All right. It's a little comic relief or whatever it is. What it is. We want y'all to, send y'all off with this right here. It's pretty funny. But yeah, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe.
Right.
Call in next time, man.
Facts.
For real. Comment, do
That's
all that good
crazy.
stuff.
Ain't
But,
nobody calling. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's
I'm
crazy.
shocked a little bit. I'm a little shocked. But yeah.
They do. They mad at us.
Yeah, I know it was a little cringy.
They probably, hey, you know what they are joining hands singing this song. Shut up. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking to you.
Damn. Nah, you know what?
They telling us to shut
what
up.
be happening though?
What's that?
Like whenever someone, an artist, a musician go public, what tends to happen is we binge on their music. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like when they get in the headlines, even if it's something bad, like we reminisce on all them songs we used to like. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you a lot of his albums and all of that, they're still public and the streams then went up. I'm telling you. Go ahead.
Worst part about that is his record label cut him and he don't even own the rights to his music.
Of course not. Of course
So y'all
not.
shut up.
That's what we went into the other day. The Lord give you not power to eat thereof. You know what I'm saying? Hey, play that.
Jay-Z was hot, but R. Kelly, it's hard to watch R. Kelly. R. Kelly make it hard, y'all. It's hard. And I like R. Kelly. That's my man, but damn. I mean, I seen the tape. I got it in my room. When you seen this sex tape and you go to the concert, you can't enjoy the music. Because now when you hear the music, you hear shit you didn't hear before. You be like, oh, shit. Like you hear your favorite songs, R. Kelly music got double meaning to it now when you really listen to it, right? Your favorite song, it'd be like, my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes, baby, I don't want to hurt nobody. But there's something I want to confess. I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. I'm like, I bet you don't. Every song is like that. Seems like you're ready. Pretty girl, are you ready to go all the way? Oh, shit. What the fuck is going on? All these songs is like that, right? Baby, save you. Oh, oh. Why you gotta say oh, oh? Baby, no more stalling. These hands have been yearning to touch you, baby. Ooh. Now that you come around, seen it my way. You won't forget it, baby. You truly won't forget it, baby. It's unbelievable how your body is calling for me. Shh. He going to jail. He nasty.
He a prophet.
Song that I really liked that I thought was cool. I mean, I didn't even know it had a double meaning to it. I just was listening to it. You know that, can I get that toot toot? Can I get that beep? Oh, that was my joint. I'm like, way to go, R. But that joint is crazy too. Y'all don't even know what y'all beeping to. When you listen to it, he tell on himself in that song too. You know, he be like, I usually don't do this, but I'm about to bring y'all out with a little bit of remix. I'm not trying to be rude, but hey, pretty girl, I'm feeling you. The way you do the things you do reminds me of Alexis Coupe. That's why I'm all up in your grill, trying to get you to a hotel. Must be a football coach. The way you got me playing the field. Can I get that toot toot? That beeping? He going by the school.
Parables. Hold the beat parables.
Going by the school. Damn. Can you see R. Kelly outside one of the little elementary schools? Toot toot. Beep beep. He going to jail.
Damn.
Bro, you know it be 18-year-olds in high school.
Facts.
Bro.
Right. And 15.
For real, all you gotta do is be 18.
Or 15.
You ain't gotta
Damn.
get on the bus. Just
Right.
hop in my Jeep.
Hey, can I go one more scripture?
Go ahead.
Job 15.
Damn.
Job 15 and verse 6. Hey, what happened is he telling on himself. That's what he done. He told on himself. It's the same way. People do that. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way with the rappers now. They tell the whole story about the drive-by they just did last week with 3 of their buddies, and then they pulled over at Donnie's. Yeah, Job 15 and 6.
The book of Job, chapter 15 and verse 6. Thine own mouth.
Thy what?
Thine own mouth.
Come on.
Condemneth thee,
Uh-huh.
and not I.
So it says thy own, like the Lord, listen, a lot of times when you just sit there and watch somebody talk, they're going to condemn themselves. They're going to put it in their music publicly for everybody around the world to hear. That's what he was just going into. Read on.
Yea, thine own lips testify against thee.
Right. So ain't nobody even got to pull nothing against you. You done already told on yourself. That's all I have.
All praise to the Most High. So yeah, man, hey, there you go. Hey, we talk some truth today, man. Hey,
That's right.
make sure y'all be on the lookout for the Tour de South documentary.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for the Arkansas Takeover documentary.
Facts.
Man, we got a lot of stuff coming y'all way, man. Y'all just stay tuned. Make sure y'all subscribe.
Right.
All right, IUIC Arkansas, subscribe to IUIC in the classroom. Subscribe to everything IUIC. All right, download IUIC TV. That's
Right.
the app. All right, I don't know if y'all paid attention during commercial, but it's a whole app.
Right.
All right, so all praise to the Most High. Lord's willing, we see y'all next week. Donate to the Booster Club. Support the prophet. Support the ministry. All right. With that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
One time, praise the
Hey, shalom, family. Keyed up. Ice is coming, chariots running out for that horsepower. Heathens mad at us cause they gon' die just like they forefathers. I ain't worried about what I ain't got, if I ain't got it, I know that my God got me, I look like my God daddy. Even on my bad days, they like this brother still happy. I got friends of the mammon, I know that they still got me. Even though I'm righteous, dog, I'm not about to come against my God and break his laws. Curses on this fool, one day and the sign out. How you gon' know what that is unless the sign out? How you gon' know who you is until you find out? You hear the prophets on the block when they crying out. They got their feet up on our neck and Judah mourned out. Israelites abusing grace and now it's running out. And you can't serve the Lord in sin and he gon' spew you out. You got hatred in your heart, bro, and it's seeking out. Hey, let me get around my people, the devil roaming round. Say they my family, that's my orders, I'm gon' hold them down. Hey, they might think we prostitute, we hold these corners down. That's word of mouth, we cry loud, we bring them scriptures out. Let's go for one some sympathy, but we ain't ain't sparing now. The truth, it ain't for everybody, we only came for ours. I looked the devil in his eyes and told him he's a lie. I serve a God that can eat and smell it, he's alive, so be advised. Wake him up, my people sleep. 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 Make him say, like I'm Master P. These laws is a masterpiece. He chased it, told me love it, understand it. He came after me. He told me shut my mouth and get my seat, how to keep my feet. Switch it up, these natures on their knees, screaming, Lord, please. Please forgive me for my father's sins because it wasn't me. Lord, do him treachery and hang a wide noose on fire. While you beating him for an hour, I'm be screaming, crucify. Turn up like I'm Deacon Lava Club, screaming more fire. Cause I strive to be like my leaders, Lord, that's what I desire. Cause they learn the word of God, then they teach the word of God. All praises to the Most High and the coming Messiah. IUIC by the wayside, so in the word of God, you can pull up like it's curbside and get your problem solved. Every week in imagination, you know we gon' chop them down. If you don't know, but ask somebody, we gon' hold it down. Pull up, chop, chop, we with it, chop, chop. Who want it, chop, chop, come get it, chop, chop, chop. Work it, won't stop. We up on every block like we playing hopscotch. We waking up our people, man, because they have not. Keep up.